Smooth voice, Heartless.
Oh
We
my
live.
god.
We live.
Oh, we laugh.
We live, people. We live. Welcome in, people.
Yeah, there's already 6 viewers in here.
You're lying.
I'm dead ass lying. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been live for 10 minutes already.
Yeah, that's
All right.
crazy.
So we just gonna dive right in, or we're gonna do intro, or are you gonna edit that later,
Oh,
We
or
we're
gotta do
gonna
the
how
do.
we?
intro.
We're gonna do intro. It's live, not
Cool.
because it's live. Yo, listen, we gotta still gotta respect the
Yo,
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 people.
Face,
yo,
what's
Face
good?
Phase,
Bella.
welcome in.
That's
Welcome in. How are you?
that's
Welcome in.
the Call of Duty coach right there
Yes, sir.
for
You
X
know
Welcome
Element.
in.
Face.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, so
Shout out to
we
X
haven't
Element.
officially met. Well, Phase Bella, welcome in. Welcome.
I follow her
Mm,
on TikTok. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Yeah.
Call of Duty coach. He used to be a player for in Phase, esports team Phase,
Yeah.
and she was with them, and then also she also did Mortal Kombat 11 for the
Okay.
ESL, and now she's our Call of Duty coach. So yeah, really awesome. Fun fact about Bella right here. She lives on a boat and she just goes wherever the hell she wants. So the whole east coast of the United
So
States.
you got a map
That's fucking
address?
wild.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
literally, yeah. Like
That's wild.
literally. Yeah, that's like literally living
I
free.
think she would still be playing fighting games if she didn't play Mortal Kombat.
Hmm.
That's what I gotta say about that.
Facts. She
That's
actually
what I gotta say
competed
about
in the
that.
very last Mortal Kombat 11 tournament that was hosted, supported by WB or ESL. And she finished in the top 5% of players. What was it,
That's dope as
25th or
fuck.
something like that? Yeah, she finished in the top. The top. We want to know the cash pool for that tournament? It was only $500 total
You're
Of
lying.
course.
for the last Mortal Kombat 11 tournament.
Oh shit.
What a shame, right?
Yeah.
What a shame.
Mm.
Yeah,
30
she
second
placed
place. That's
32nd.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, so if you guys didn't know, we're also live on Twitter or
On
Nice.
X.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Twitterverse,
We're
or the
live
Xverse,
Yeah,
on
we're
whatever you
X.
want
yeah,
to
we're
call it.
also live on X.
Okay.
If
I
anyone
mean,
wants to know, X
it's a good
Element's
thing I'm
gonna
not
buy
nervous.
Twitter someday, and we're just gonna keep that name
Bello with the
X.
daily
Just
fist bump. Hey, Bello, I got you with the fist bump. I had that turned
oh
off,
yeah,
but I'll turn that
I got
on.
it.
Don't do it yet, Jim. Don't do it yet.
Okay.
Bello didn't get his, but I'm gonna make sure he gets it later. Bello, just remind me, bro. I got you.
Dude, like you're saying the first 100, you should raise that to 500 because there's no way I'm gonna get that 100 before anyone else now. What is it? Lazili's got like 40 of them or something, and I
No,
have
no,
like
no, no.
two.
Zilly has like
So,
25 or
yeah.
no, or 30,
But
30 something.
that's why you got that. See, that's why you got to do it so that there's two prizes. The first person to hit 100 gets a prize, and then you should do a random number between 30 and 100.
I did the
That way,
first three
everyone
people.
else.
I did the first
You
Oh, the
three
see,
people.
like,
first three.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that works too.
there you go.
It was at this moment that he knew.
Yeah, fucked up. There you go. See.
Yeah, you can do it
How do you
now.
have so many? How do you have so many points to redeem already, Bill? You only been here 5 minutes.
I have 41,000 points.
I think she was probably in the
Yeah,
last. She was lurking in the last pod.
I have I don't know, like almost 10,000 now in cash.
No,
I
no, no.
think.
So those are only 50 coins. Oh, wait, wait. Yeah, those are only 50 coins. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure when
see,
you follow
cash.
somebody, you get a few hundred.
You get a
Yeah,
few
like
hundred. Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
Hmm
Yeah, but
So
still,
that's
cash. Your stuff's too cheap. You
wow.
gotta raise the price.
All
You gotta
right.
raise
Well,
them
we're gonna bring
prices.
the. It changes today. I'm
That's gonna
taking
be
all
the
that.
That's
that's gonna be the
facts.
sale. That's gonna be the sale that I highlight at the end of this
Yo, does
podcast. Be
everyone
like,
want that Pokemon
cash's
card?
redeems are too cheap. That's the biggest sale on the internet.
Does everyone want that Pokemon card that everyone else has? Or does everyone want that Pokemon card that not many
Oh,
people have?
I don't
Whoa.
collect Pokemon cards. No, no, thank you.
You don't collect Pokemon
No
cards.
Pokemon. Oh, speaking of which, the
Heartless
stuff,
feels offended.
I don't know if we want to do a shout out, but you know that the Amiibo collection is complete for
Ooh, that's
Smash
lit.
Brothers.
That's lit.
Yeah,
I
like
forgive you. I
they just
forgive you.
released the Sora one, and they just announced it in the Nintendo Direct, and it's the last one. The Amiibo set is complete for Smash Brothers now. There's like 90 of them.
God damn.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
what? I might want to try to collect those. That was lit.
yeah, it's Sora. If you go by the name Heartless, you gotta pick up the Sora
That's
Amiibo.
what I'm
I mean, that's
saying.
a
That's what
must
I'm
for you.
saying. That's a must. That's a
You gotta
must.
make
It's a
that
must.
a redeem. Donate
It's a
towards
he said it's
Heartless
a
getting the
must.
Sora amiibo.
All right.
Magic the Gathering. I
Nah.
used to play Magic the Gathering when I was a kid.
All right, guys, we're
It's a
live.
really good
We're
game.
live now. We're gonna start up this show. We're gonna switch to the next scene in like the next 2 minutes.
All right, are we
So
doing intros on this scene or intros on the next scene?
On the next scene, we can't do each here.
Oh,
yeah, just Cash, count us down, count us down. We'll make this official.
that'll be a long ass countdown.
Mm.
Is it 2 minutes?
120, 119, 118.
Yo, imagine that.
Well, we get to hear we get to hear more of that silky smooth heartless voice. I'm down.
Oh,
And
oh,
all the
you guys
ladies
are
in the
bugging.
audience, all the ladies in the audience,
You
they're
guys are
all
bugging.
The countdown started, so we're at 2 minutes. We're counting down. So we pretty much have everything we need to discuss. Everybody good?
any
Yo,
particular
Wabbit,
hot
welcome in, fam.
takes?
Wabbit, what's
There,
good? Welcome in. Say
welcome
again,
in.
Jerem. My bad.
Any particular hot takes from any of the I think it's a
I think Heartless has a hot take.
pretty
He brought it up.
lukewarm take so far this week on all the content we're going to
Now
discuss
Heartless
and
has
stuff.
one, and I told we said we were gonna save it for the podcast.
I suppose my opinion on probably the Project L name is probably going to be a little bit of a
That's your
hot
hot
take.
take?
Probably. It
That's
could be, it
mild.
could not
That's your
be. Well,
mild take.
yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
But my reason for my take will be what the hot take is.
Yo,
We'll
I
see.
guys,
preferred it, the original one.
for those in chat who are interested in voicing an opinion, there is going to be a segment of stream in which we have a question,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a waiting room, and we're in a Discord chat right now, and there is a waiting room in the Discord, and you guys can hop in that waiting room, and when it comes time for the chat's opinions, we will pull people from that waiting room one at a time for people to voice their opinions if you guys are interested in that.
Yeah, first come,
Now,
first serve. If you get in the earlier you get in the queue, the better your chances are of getting on stream.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm posting the question of the day right now in chat.
Yeah, we need to come up with the question of the day for next week as well and give it out this week so that way
Our viewers
people
can
have a
know ahead
week
of
to
time.
think on it. Yeah, people can know ahead of time.
What's
They can think on it.
what's
I think that's the way it should
do
be.
you have
I
something already in mind, Cash, or do you just want us to like come up with it?
nothing. I got nothing.
Okay, Heartless, you down? You making the question of the week this week? I got
I'll
next
think
week.
about it. We'll
I got
try to.
next week.
Yo, if you have any ideas before the end of the stream, you just let me know, and then
I got you.
I think it
okay, cool.
might come up based on our conversation.
Um, I'm just gonna put how about this be the question? Like, what do you guys think?
Pink, what's good? Welcome
Game of
in.
the year 2024 predictions. Is that a good question? It's still
I'm with
earlier
it.
in the
I'm
year,
with
so
it.
it feels good.
I'm with it. I like
Yeah,
this. I like this. I like this.
game of the year
Yo,
predictions for 2024.
Pinksy, welcome in. You're gonna owe Pinksy a fist bump as well.
Yeah, so I just posted. So I posted both the Discord link and the question of the day in the chat. Once you get in here, you go down to the waiting room, and then we'll pull people in. Pull people in.
Yeah, please keep that up there.
Yeah, it's gonna stay there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
pin that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, again, for any people who just showed up, welcome in. We are looking to get started here in about less than 90 seconds. Uh, we're going to be doing a Q&A session. There's a question here that the Crash just pinned. Follow that Discord, hop in the waiting room, and if we can get you on stream to answer the question, give any hot takes you guys got. We want to hear the voice of the people.
What's up?
Voice of
All
the
right,
people.
let's go. Gonna switch this out. We gonna switch this out. I'm actually gonna hop straight in with you guys on screen. Before I used to do it by myself and then show the co-stars, but it's all good. We're all here. We just chilling.
Okay, we're all here. We're all here. I'll gladly go make a sandwich real quick. Come back.
Oh wow,
Wow.
I'm kidding.
those aren't wireless headphones, are they?
No,
No,
the
they're not.
wireless ones weren't working, so
That's a
um
tragedy.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a tragedy. We got people already giving us the game of the year predictions now, but that we're giving you the question now so that next week you guys come fully
hmm
loaded with thought out opinions.
And we're
Because
gonna
we
hold you to that because we want a record. Put it on the Twitter so we have a record so we can call you out if
yes,
you or give you
100%.
credit, whichever.
All right. So transitioning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's good, people? What's good? What's good?
What's
Hello.
good? Welcome in everyone.
Welcome in. Welcome
Welcome
in.
in.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
What are the precious words of Heartless? What?
Am I hearing cheering?
Yes, you're hearing cheering. People came in and they're
Mm.
cheering.
I thought that was I thought we were at the beach there for a minute. That sounded like some crashing waves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was millions of people cheering.
Yeah,
Right.
like literally that was our Queen concert right there. We were
That's
just
Yeah,
crazy.
eventually, we could, because who knows, we can have like a live podcast at some point where
Hey,
we're in front of like a live studio audience. You never know.
let's do it.
That
Let's do it.
that could
You
be
know, like
crazy.
That
when
could
I
be
go to
crazy. Yeah,
Evo, I'll do it right there on the
Would you
floor.
be
We could have all
nervous?
that crowd noise.
I would definitely be freaking nervous. What are you talking about, bro?
That's crazy. Imagine having a bad take. There's like
That-
50 people watching you.
right. You're thinking 50. I'm thinking way more than that. Like, imagine having
Can you
like a whole room, an auditorium of people, like
That's
agreeing
could
with
crazy.
you
me. Okay.
imagine we do some crazy hot take about like say Xbox and like Phil Spencer's like right there? You know, that would
Oh
be
my
crazy.
god. Oh my god.
All right, so we're gonna do the intros now. Listen, guys, please bear with me. I'm still working out the kinks for the intro, so All right, here we go. Welcome to Gamer Actual, the podcast where we mainly focus on gaming news. That's not how it goes, but we're gonna fix that eventually in post. But you can find us on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also on YouTube. Yo, so yeah, I totally drew a blank right there, guys. See, this is what I'm talking
No,
about.
it's all right. We got you, Cash. We
We'll
got you.
do it
Like
in
it.
post. Anyways,
Yeah.
um,
I'm Germ. This is
what's up?
Heartless down here. Yeah, where we're here for our second episode. We had a great first episode. That was we were just talking. The nerves went away. I feel like we're ready for this one. Are you ready, Heartless? You ready, Cash?
Yes. Yes. I got the
Yes.
same
Let's
exact
go.
same thoughts as
Let's
you.
go.
Yeah, I'm totally ready. So, quick question for you guys: what games are you guys playing this week?
No, let me get my intro in first.
Okay, go ahead, my
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, what's your boy? The Heartless underscore 99. Check me out everywhere. Bye.
Yeah, I'm Germ 6760. Sometimes in online you might see X in front of the name. It's because I represent X Element Gaming. We are currently a lifestyle sports and media company upcoming this year. We are looking to attend our first LAN event here in the Midwest in June. So we're hoping if any of you guys are in the Midwest, check us out at Midwest Fest in the Kansas City area, June 7th through the
It's
9th.
a good thing I make my intros nice and short, so Jerem got all that time.
Yeah, I sound a little low. Do I sound low
Mhm.
to anybody else in the chat?
Not to me, but
Well, I don't know. We might not have the same audio as the chat is
yeah.
hearing.
Yeah, probably. That's also that too. Fix your shit, Bello. Anyways,
Mhm.
back to this,
Make sure you
the
highlight your message next time. Just kidding. I'm
yeah.
kidding. Um,
So,
Wabbit says you're a little low as well. What about us, chat? Do I sound nice and crispy?
how about me? I sound low too.
I
Let's
don't know.
give a
I'll
mic
turn this
check.
up.
Mic check.
I'll
What's our
turn it up.
temperature out there?
Cash is
Okay.
only
Cash is the
on
only one.
the audio.
Wow.
That's weird,
How are we going to run a podcast like this?
right?
Yeah. How do we have an audio podcast, Cash?
Right? Exactly. How's that gonna work? Let
You
me
know,
try
I
this.
guess we're gonna have to have the silky smooth, heartless voice just take us to the promised land. Just
Right?
kidding.
I want you guys to know that's not how I talk in real life. My voice is much higher in real life, man.
You have your customer service
I'm,
voice where
I'm
it's
just
like
kidding. I'm just
high
kidding.
pitch and
Right?
screechy.
I'm just kidding.
All
This is
right.
how I talk in real life.
All right, fellas.
All right,
So
let's go. Let's reel it in. We're doing a
let's
podcast here.
bring
Let's
it
reel
back
it in.
because all of this
Yeah,
shit is
bring it
gonna
back.
get cut. All this shit is gonna get cut. I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
right now.
God.
All right. Anyways, back to what we were saying. Like, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm
Good,
doing
good.
excellent. I'm excited.
Back here for episode 2. Super excited.
Yeah. All right. So, what games are you guys playing right now?
What games am I playing right now? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I have not played it yet, but I just bought For Honor last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I downloaded it. It's $5 for the standard edition of For Honor
Mm-hmm.
on Steam
Okay.
right now.
Oh,
Check it out,
such a
everybody.
good game.
And I cannot wait to check that game out. I've heard nothing but great things about it. Um, I'm playing Street Fighter, of course, as always. I finally got Tekken running smooth on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
We lit. And I'm excited to learn Persona for Arena Ultimax. I'm sure you guys are noticing this is all fighting games, but I'm also playing Persona 3 Reloaded. And I don't know if you guys have checked out the trailer for Elden Ring, the new DLC, but I'm excited for that. And we'll get more into that later. Jerem, you're next.
For me, I picked up Helldivers this week,
Oh,
so
God,
I've
that's
been
crazy.
diving into that a little bit, and I have to say, dude, I'm a fan. This is the first shooter I have purchased in well over 20 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
since
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
talking like What's the game series? I'm talking about OG Call of Duty on like the PlayStation days. This is my first one in a long time,
Oh
and I'm
wow.
having a
World at
blast with
War.
it.
He's talking about
It's so
World at
fun.
War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
literally, yeah. Spread into, it's fun shooting
Are
bugs,
you
spreading democracy, turning bugs into tax-paying citizens. Like I'm all about this life.
are
It's
you
so,
That's what you
hell,
do.
that'd
You
be
turn
great.
bugs into taxpayer. Don't
It's
tell me
like
that's
the whole premise of the
that
whole premise
that
of
is
the
the whole premise?
game. Yeah, it's like you're like this sort of like Starship Troopers, like you said last week,
mm-hmm.
where you're like these soldiers and you go to these planets that like don't have any life or something, and they're being overrun by these bug armies, and your job is to like clear out the bugs and turn them into,
Tax-paying
save the
citizens.
world through democracy.
Oh
It's just
wow.
such a cheesy concept, but they just go so hard on it. You just can't help it. You can't help
That
but smile. It's
That's
so
that's why
good.
you
crazy.
guys see people in the chats saying for democracy because
What I
Oh, I get it.
they're memeing.
Mm,
What I love about the game specifically is like it's got that kind of tongue-in-cheek, like this is democracy kind of thing, but it
mm-hmm.
doesn't take itself too seriously. You could tell it's kind of like it's like watching an episode of
Satire.
Saturday Night Live. You
It's
know they're not
satire.
serious,
Mm-hmm.
but they're serious at the
It's
same time.
satire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, satire. It's so good.
Yeah, for
I
me,
love it.
what I'm playing right now, I'm playing two games. Like I'm always probably like rotating between two games. Right now, I'm currently playing. I revisited Hogwarts Legacy, which is an amazing game. I didn't beat it previously, and I don't even know why I ended up playing the game again. But for some reason, I picked it up, and my kids started to watch me play, and that's how we like really like started to play, like fully get back into the game. And I've also been playing Banisher. Banisher is actually a pretty dope story. I like it. Like it's a lot of it almost
It's the game
reminds
we
me
was
of
talking about
Mass
last
Effect.
week.
Yes. So I started playing
Okay.
that
And
this week.
what is the premise of that game? Like what is it exactly? Like
So
the
they're
just
ghost hunters.
a quick story synopsis. Like
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, so they're basically ghost hunter and spoiler alert, one of them dies, which is the wife. She ends up dying and she cannot move on because she's trying to help her husband to solve this case because
Mhm.
they got called to a town which is I think it's called Edentown, and they got there to investigate these hauntings that are happening. Because in this universe, curses aren't actually curses; it's just hauntings of
Just like
different
magic?
no different levels of ghosts. So like I guess
Hmm.
the certain ghosts have certain properties that make them more powerful or whatever, and that's what happened. She
Interesting.
ended up dying suddenly. They thought he died, but he never really did. And now they're making their way back to the town to kind of kill that ghost, like get rid of that ghost. But she is there to
Okay.
help him as well. She cannot move on. So you're helping
Okay.
like you have a bunch of like side quests to like even help other ghosts to move on, like pass on, or you can banish them. That's the whole premise of the story. But it's pretty good.
Hmm.
It's pretty good because
Eh,
your
Looks
choices
cool.
actually affect the story. That's the other thing. So
Okay. It
I'm looking
Don't
explains
you
the
forward.
name
don't
Vanisher.
Mm-hmm.
Explains the name Vanisher.
Right.
I get it now. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it now.
they're both playable though, right? The wife and the husband.
Yeah. The wife and the husband are they're
So
playable,
you go between
interchangeable.
being a ghost and being
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
exactly.
It's pretty dope,
Okay.
bro. It is
Okay.
a pretty dope
Interesting.
game.
Cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah,
It's unique. I've never quite heard that kind of game before. It sounds more like a TV show, but hey,
that's
it's
exactly
great they
what my
made a
wife
game.
said. My wife said it.
Yeah.
This could be a TV show. Like, we could easily
Yeah.
see this becoming a
And
TV
those are
show.
the best games.
Yeah.
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 That
'Cause
it's never the other way around. But yeah, it's always yeah.
So games that released this week were Last Epoch, Nightingale, and Pacific Drive. We can start with Last Epoch. Heartless, what did you think about it?
See, it's like a top down kind of I want to say like a looter game like Diablo, which is not my style of game,
Mm-hmm.
but it is apparently a lot more fun than Diablo. Well, no, let me say this. It is a lot more user friendly early on, which allows you to get further into the game and
Mm-hmm.
access more of the fun, and then it carries that on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but for me
That was the
personally,
vibe
it's
I
not my
got.
type of game.
It's not
Yeah,
your type of game?
personally, I haven't been a Diablo person in who knows how many years. So. This doesn't really feel like my kind of game, but it just feels like I've seen this before. Or
Mm,
like, but hey, it just feels like why would I play this over the other 10,000 top-down adventure games that are like that.
right.
Pretty
But
much.
it seems interesting.
But
Yeah.
if you check all like if you check the people playing it online and what they have to say about it, the people who were playing it and going through the game and putting hours in the game, people keep comparing it to Diablo and they say that Diablo just At some point, you get to the game and you're like, the looping of the goals of the game just gets stale.
Yeah.
And there's this, and
That sounds like
so
the Diablo grind.
I
Mm.
think personally, anytime you have a game that people are comparing it, like to Diablo in a positive light, then what, like, even though the game's not for me, it's whatever category of game that is. People are obviously they're liking it. It's got some good stuff in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, Diablo does have its niche community, which is good. But I always thought Diablo was very, I'm not down with that loot grind. It was like the original, it was like the live service before live service.
Yeah, I was
Pretty
And
never.
much.
you know,
Yeah, I was
I
never a
I,
big
I
fan of
just not
Diablo.
down. Yeah, I'm just not down with that having to grind 100 hours to get like a great weapon that you may, pick up something even better in 5 minutes, you
Right.
know. So I have mixed feelings about the game, but I've always been more story driven with my adventure games. So if a game is lacking story, it really falls flat for me. So just from the trailer I saw of this game, I don't. Where's the story? But hey,
Right.
you can't get. You can only get so much from a trailer.
So if you peek in the chat, you see Unholy Rabbit said, "I just wish Diablo was a first person game," and I feel him on that. That's like I can't play that top down style of game where you like click the mouse and the character moves in that direction. It's just not for me.
Yeah, it's not
It
for
would be
me.
nice if
That's
you had
definitely
both
not for me.
options. Like Skyrim or Fallout. It'd be nice if you could have both options.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy.
It would be cool. Because
Yeah.
personally, I like mixing it up with the Skyrim or with the Fallout. Like sometimes you do the first person, and then you pull it back and do the third person. I like having the option of both. And was it GTA?
Yeah.
GTA does that too.
Um.
GTA. What does GTA not do? To be honest.
To be
So
honest, GTA does everything, bro. When you really think about
yeah,
that shit, bro. At this point,
it is
GTA is an everything simulator, bro.
a
Pretty much,
special unicorn game for
Mm-hmm.
it
sure.
is a special game.
I feel like this new GTA has big shoes to fill, bro. Like it has
It looks
to.
beautiful though.
It looks
Yeah.
beautiful, but I feel like there's not gonna be much innovation in that game, personally.
Let's be honest though.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like whenever Rockstar releases a game,
Mm-hmm.
they push the boundaries of whatever engine they're running, or
Mm.
they're using to
Oh,
make the game.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
And
They revolutionize gaming every time they do it.
Mm-hmm.
like that's going to be their first edition, and then there's going to be a graphical upgrade in 3 years, and they're going to it's going to be like
Is that how
that.
they do things?
It seems like that's the way they do things now since 5 came out.
Wait,
um
so five released and then they had a graphical
yeah,
update.
5 came out 13 years ago. There was actually a meme going around when 6 got announced about people showing photos of themselves
Before and
13
after,
years
that
ago.
was funny as
Yeah,
hell, bro.
and that's just crazy how the whole basically a whole generation of gamers has grown old and probably has kids now since
And
the
they won't even
last
be able to
GTA
play it.
came out. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, GTA 6 is going to be a total vibe. As I said last week, rest in peace to all our hard drives. There's no way all our
Rest in
PCs are going to be
peace
full of
to all
smoke.
our
And
hard drives.
I got a two
yeah,
terabyte, so as long as it's not 1.5 terabytes, I think I'll
you
survive.
better get those cooling systems under control, because
Bro,
that's gonna be
facts,
crazy. Yeah,
facts. I'm checking the temperatures right now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm gonna
All
be
right.
cooking some marshmallows on top of my PC.
All right. We're gonna pause for a second because I realize that our streams are not showing, our cameras are not showing for some reason.
Yeah. Shut up. Um. No, this thing audio isn't working right now.
Technical difficulties, folks. This is your chance to hop in the waiting room from the Discord to answer the questions.
There we go. And now we're fixed. We're gonna go back to the. So I might avoid just staying away from the whole B-roll thing because I realize once I do it, it fucks with everything.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll
We all done our
restructure it to make it work for next time.
Yeah,
we all done our
because
homework. We're ready to go. It
yeah.
probably would be best cash in the future if
Mhm.
we all pull it up individually on our whatever we're streaming on,
Yeah.
and then we just reference it if we need to. But yeah, that
No, I
probably
think he
would
was talking
be.
about the scene
The
with the
scene.
video in the
Yeah.
background.
Oh,
The
okay,
scene. The scene was
gotcha.
the issue. You guys are fine. You guys are fine.
Yeah,
It's just
cool.
this whole thing. But anyways, back to this.
Okay,
All right, let's
cool.
pick go back.
Wanna-
So, what do you guys think about Nightingale?
So, can I go first?
You can go first,
Yeah, go for
Heartless.
it. Go for it,
Uh,
Heartless.
Nightingale. So it's a survivor game. See,
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, okay, I just feel like we're getting like when one game of a certain genre takes off, it seems like other developers want to flock into the genre,
Mm-hmm.
and then like 3 years later, you'll just have a bunch of games like in that genre.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
how many survivor games do we have right now?
Well, it's Resident Evil. Like, it seems like Alan Wake has really kind of revived that survival horror. Resident Evil
No,
and
wait,
Alan
no.
Wake
So
horror
we're talking about
games.
different kinds of survivor games. Survivor games are like when you're out in the wilderness and you turn wood into homes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So it's
Okay,
like
gotcha.
those kind of survival games, like
It's like a power world with no monsters. It's like
exactly.
Rust.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those kind of games, but it's actually graphically is the most impressive of all of them. But the problem is, it's not really stable.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of
Gotcha.
people having a lot of issues with the game.
Right.
So,
I got you.
Cash, any takes on that?
So yeah, one of the
The
things because I was looking into Nightingale. The first time I actually saw Nightingale, I was super excited about the game. But then I started to see a bunch of reviews coming in once the game dropped last week, right? And one of the key issues people are having is exactly that. The game was unstable as hell. Number one. Number two, it's like the game is beautiful. It's like graphically, the game is a feast for the eyes, right? But it is
Feast for
so
the eyes.
unstable. I just said feast for the eyes. Yes. Yeah, I got big words too. Listen, but the game is so unstable that it's almost unplayable for some people. Is what I'm hearing. Hey, yo, Jason,
And it's
thank you.
online only.
Yeah, it's online
okay
only. So there was an
sounds
instance last week where people couldn't get into the game at all because there was a
And they
server
don't want to
issue.
play online. And
Hmm.
they're not even trying to
see,
play online.
They're
and
not even trying to play
that
online.
that's where it's interesting because there's several other games that are like that. Helldivers is one, and just a
Hmm.
few different ones that they're only online only, and you need to have servers in order to play them. But if it's a good game,
Hmm.
gamers will be okay with it. But if it's a game that's sort of borderline, like seems like not like Nightingale is so
Hmm.
far,
Right.
or just doesn't wow you, you're not going to have the patience for it. And that's where, later we're going to touch on the nature of live service, but
Hmm.
it feels like that's where we are now is if a game just doesn't blow you away, like you said it last week, Heartless, if you're not breaking records,
It's
you're
the
going to be
survivability.
irrelevant, you know?
So what
So,
I notice is if you're not breaking records,
Hmm.
years down the line, your player base is like small numbers. It becomes a
yeah.
niche game.
Exactly.
Uh, and so
And
another thing for me is I don't have enough brain cells to play Power World and then go decide to start another base building survival
Right.
game. It's like I only have enough time for one. I have my goals set in one, and I want to build on that. So
see,
it's not a
and
game I'll be getting.
I'm with you there, Heartless, because I will play one game until literally, the game breaks, and
Yeah,
I can't just be switching from game to game every few weeks, every few months. Like
yeah,
when
it's
I'm
tough.
into a game, I get consumed.
It's not only
And
that too. It's just it's a live service. How many live service games are we going to play at a time? Like really? Like
too
think about that.
money.
There's too many out
I,
there.
Well, it depends.
I can't dedicate enough time to all the live service games. Impossible, because live service
Exactly.
are a grind.
It depends how you treat them.
So
It depends how you treat them. Overwatch is a live service game. We hop on and do 5v5 customs once a week. We don't care about the battle pass, none of that.
Right.
But if you're somebody who does care about that, and then you care about it in all the games that you do it in,
Mm-hmm.
good luck. There's only so much
yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
So
And I guess you could say Street Fighter is another good example. It's technically live
yeah,
service, but
because
you
it
could
has a
literally not
score.
play that game for 5 months and
Mm-hmm.
still hop right in. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I, I think
the thing is with Nightingale. Here's my other deal with Nightingale. The game concept wise is actually a pretty dope concept because all those so you get things called you need three things that are called I think realm keys that you need
yeah,
to put together to then travel to these different realms, right? So you need
yeah,
one that is for the biome, one that's for like the fauna, and then I guess the animals or whatever, which is in the layout of the land. But it's all the entire game is procedurally generated. Like all the maps, all the levels,
Randomized.
they're randomized.
And but they don't look it.
They don't look
They don't
like
look.
it.
They look like they're built by design, but they're
Ex-
all randomly generated.
Exactly. But one of the things I've heard people say about even like the mechanics is just like overly tedious, right? So it's like overly
Yeah.
complicated for no reason. Like,
See, if y'all don't,
Sounds like a
go ahead,
lot of
if you
Hollis.
don't have,
side
if you don't
service.
have pals doing the work for you, I'm sorry.
Here's a fun fact about Pal World. For those who don't know,
Hmm.
Bagel, she's a streamer, a
Hmm.
bad gamer lady. Check her out her stream; she's amazing. But
Facts.
she was catching humans, like human people, in Pal World. I was just like, dude, like human trafficking and you like making
It
people
says
work
it's
all day.
unethical
Like I
though.
don't know, I don't know how I feel about this. Like Pal World's crossing that line.
But
Oh no,
they
no,
do
no, no.
address it though. They do address it. That like it
They
Yeah.
is
say it's
It's just
unethical.
funny.
yeah.
It just took me off totally off guard when she did that.
If
I
you
was
play
like,
Conan of
what?
Exiled, you can literally catch slaves, is what they
Yeah.
call them.
Are you serious?
So, and they don't tell you it's unethical. It's like a part of the game. You gotta go catch slaves.
Yeah, see, it just like when stuff like that happens, it just takes me off
And
guard. Like,
it
whoa,
does. It took me off
like
guard
we're
very much
spreading
so.
democracy. We're doing human trafficking in games now. It's like, what
Are they making fun of
we're
America when they say they're spreading
yeah,
democracy?
I
yeah, I'm
feel
sure
like
they
it
are.
feels that way. It feels that way.
Yeah,
It's
I'm sure
definitely
they are. It's
It
literally
feels
called
that way.
Super Earth. It's like
it's
it's
called
just
Super
I don't
Earth.
know.
It's called
Yeah,
Yeah,
Super
they
that's
make
Earth.
fun
like
of they make fun
what
of
they.
America.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And then
That's
yeah.
there's
funny.
Pacific Drive. That's that game that came out February 22nd. What do you guys think about Pacific Drive? It gave me a lot of like Alan Wake vibes.
I went first twice. So do you want to go?
Jerm,
I'll
go
go.
ahead.
Like it was a similar, thing like Carlos was pointing out about. It seems like we're in this sort of horror games or revival. So it feels like that.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Like again, like trailers are really hard for me to digest these days because I always want to know what the story is of a game, and trailers don't give me that. So it's I don't know. For me, it didn't really click for me. But
I kind
So
of agree with what you're gonna say too. So
I just
here's the
wish
deal.
games would be more upfront with those things
Hmm.
instead of just telling me like a game was made by this person and it's about this and it's coming out this time and it's got I just wish games were more upfront with their information because I don't want to play a game and then the story be whack.
Right. That's one of
I
my
just want to
pet
know a
peeves.
little bit.
Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah.
the
pet
story is
peeves.
whack.
One of my pet peeves of any game is just like them showing off a cinematic trailer. I don't get any idea of what the story is gonna be like. I don't get any idea, not the story, what the gameplay is gonna be like, the mechanics. I just don't know anything. We just see
And
this big story. It's not a movie. We need to see gameplay.
the trailer I watched of this game, yeah, it just really was boring to be honest. And
Yeah.
I
So
think overall the slate of these games is just all kind of boring. There's nothing really like wow, I'm gonna go buy that right. I'm gonna go down to GameStop and buy that right now. I'm gonna
Right.
go ask the guy behind the counter about it. Like I never got that feeling about any of this. To be honest, like dating ourselves, like who goes to GameStop these days? But
nobody. I haven't
Right.
been in
yeah,
years.
You
yeah,
said you do, Heartless?
No, I don't go to GameStop. I have not
yeah.
been in
Like
years.
how is GameStop even still in business? But
I
hey,
haven't
that's
gone
a
to
It's
side
GameStop
crazy.
tangent.
in a long
Equipment.
time.
They probably sell equipment,
They sell equipment. I feel like they've sell. I think last
hardware, I
year,
should
yeah,
say.
they sell a lot of hardware, but I hear that they're kind of like shifting their vision to like toys, like trading cards and stuff like that as well,
That makes
which
sense.
makes
That
sense.
makes
You ask
sense.
me,
That's why you can find a lot of Pokemon product at GameStops lately.
GameStop is just a
Oh,
pawn
okay.
shop these days. You just drop off your old Xbox and
Yeah, it's
get
a
ten
definitely
dollars
a
for it.
video game and tech pawn shop. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like the only
All
reason
right, but
Cash,
that's
GameStop was still alive is because of what happened. Was it last year or the year before with
the
this
bubble,
whole?
the
Yeah,
bubble.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know if that to be true. I would need to do some more research. But
Mhm.
before we lose track of this, do you have any opinions on Pacific Drive, Cash?
No, not really. No. It just
Not
I don't
so.
the only
either.
thing
Just
I
very
thought
bland.
about is just it reminded me of Alan Wake. That's it. Because you're going through the
So
Pacific Northwest and all that stuff. But Heartless,
I'll
you can
break down what
continue.
I've learned about the game.
Yeah.
Um, so like you end up in like a portal, and you end up on the other side in a world where like everything's weird, all the way down to matter and like how the world operates and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I said the S word.
Are you
Um,
fine?
okay, so So the gameplay, the main gameplay loop is you get like a car, a beat down car, and you
Mm-hmm.
have like a little beat down car shop to like fix your car up, and you gotta like go out, gather loot, uh, take trips, and go back to the shop, upgrade your car, fix it up, and this and that, and apparently from all the videos I watch on it, that gets pretty stale pretty fast.
Mm.
It has a couple of things that tries to keep you engaged, but they are not very well implemented. So for one of them, it's like your car has like these things called quirks. Things problems can arise with your car at any point. Like for instance, if you take a right turn, your hood can pop up, or like
What
your
the
door
hell?
can yeah, or like your door can randomly open, or
Mm.
your lights randomly shut off. And the only way to fix these issues is to go back to the shop, and you have to do like a series of puzzles that involve words. People are saying, "What the hell is this?" It's kind of
Well,
unintuitive, like for a car
well,
game. Like,
first of all, like this is supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be fun. I
Mm-hmm.
can literally have that happen in real life. If I don't, you know what I mean? Like, why? That makes no sense. Like, like that just why would I want to play a game
that's
about
so
the
true.
worst day of my life?
Right.
That makes no sense. Who is that marketed to? But
I have no
Who's
clue.
the genius behind this?
But
it's like
speaking of marketing, there's a couple. There's something else that I heard. This is the controversial take of the night, and I would like to know people's opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
just a reminder, hop in that waiting room, folks.
Yeah, hop in that waiting room. So if you have opinions on this stuff, guys, we'd love to hear it. We're not picking any sides. We'd love to know how everyone feels about this. But in this game right here, you get decals on the car. You start off the game with 25 decals. Apparently, one of them is a dog. Another one is an astronaut, and 23 out of the 25 are sexual identity flags, or like social justice flags like Black Lives Matter and so on and so forth. There's 25 flags that you get by default.
Mm-hmm.
A dog, an astronaut, and 23 sexual identifiers or social justice flags.
And they use that. Do they use those flags as like a selling point? Like you have those as options for you to add to your. You understand what I'm saying? Like, are
Well,
they using it to say like it's a selling point? Oh,
no,
you get
well,
all these 25 flags.
so the opinions that I've seen on it, I'm not quite sure about that, but the opinions I've seen on that is, um, I don't want video games to try to tell me how to think. I don't want video games to try to tell me how to think.
Mm-hmm.
I seen. Well, actually, let me add on that before I move on to another opinion I seen. Um, a lot of people are noticing that there's a lot of woke messaging in video games, and some people are not very happy with it. And some people are even going as far to say, "I will not buy products if they're just going to be
Yeah.
packed with like lessons
Messaging.
I need to
Yeah,
learn,
I think the word you're
messaging,
looking for, Heartless, is like propaganda. If they're trying to influence you, kind of
propaganda if
thing.
they're trying to
Yeah.
influence me."
Mm-hmm.
Another opinion I seen on this sticker controversial take is somebody said there is no sexual identifying flag for straight people, and if the game is going to be about inclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah,
where
that
is
that's a
my
that's a very
inclusiveness?
yeah. I have
Right.
never really thought of that. That is a great take, Heartless. Like,
Like
yeah,
I said, I'm
everyone
not
wants to
taking
be included,
sides,
but not these people. Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
I'm not taking sides. Like I said, I'm not
Yeah.
taking sides.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But you notice
but
it, and you know what?
I notice it.
Yeah, and for you, you're not someone who's actively looking for it, and for that to catch your attention, you can tell that they're making a concerted effort to kind of put it out there, if that makes
Yes,
sense. That's what
yes.
it feels like.
Interesting. That
In one of the
is an
videos,
interesting. I've
in
never
one of the
thought of it that way.
videos, the guy explaining, he said, "What if this was a game about X, Y, and Z, and all of a sudden there's just Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan?" He's
Hmm.
like, "How does that belong in this game? Just because the person who made the game has interest in Attack on Titan, a game about X, Y, and Z is going to involve things that just don't belong in the game."
It brings
Yeah,
me back to my
it's not
original
necessary.
question, like who is this marketed to? Like, you
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like, who, to be honest, people that I guess hippies that, live in situations like this,
Hmm.
they don't play games. They live out wherever. So like, I don't know, just who is this for? Who is this game made for?
But it's a
in
game
a
about the supernatural. So why is it? I'm not.
it
I don't get it. I don't get it. And I feel
it
like
feel
nowadays, and this is what I feel like. A lot of these companies, they don't. At the end of the day, this is how I look at it. They're a company, and they don't care. They don't care about what with their messaging. They really don't. They're just trying to win points, is what
It's
it
called
feels
virtue
like.
signaling. It's called
Virtue
virtue
yeah,
signaling.
signaling.
There you go. Exactly. It's
yeah.
exactly
You're
what they're
I
just
agree
doing.
with you. I agree
you're
with you.
just trying to be, controversial so that people talk about you like we are right now,
They,
literally.
they,
Right.
So
maybe they're hoping that the trans community or the the gender non-binary community catches
Mm.
this and gives them enough praise and applaud that they catch viral mainstream
Yeah.
media,
But
or
all you're
maybe they're
gonna
hoping we talk about this and hate on it, and that brings them more attention, and then it sells more sales. I don't know.
But it never usually actually that doesn't actually raise sales for any company when you really think about it.
well, and to be honest, like if that was the means, you would
Mhm.
think that there would be a marketing campaign surrounding that idea. You know what I mean? And this game doesn't have any of that. It's just kind of there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, why is it there?
Why
If you're not,
exactly? It doesn't make any sense for it to be there. It just
yeah,
doesn't.
For me
it's
personally, I think that when it appears like you're shoving something down someone's throat, they
Mhm.
become more resistant to it.
Yeah,
And I'll give you another example.
agreed.
If you ever watched Hunter x Hunter, there's a character named Hisoka who is definitely a trans character,
Mhm.
but fans from such little kids to adults watch that show and they never have an issue with it because the
Mhm.
show itself never
Tries to push that.
try they never try to push that, they never try to explain it, they never try to tell you how you're supposed to think about it.
Mhm.
And because they don't, 99.999% of viewers of that anime are fully acceptive.
Think about
yeah,
perfect
makes
example too.
sense.
Think about Whis from DB Dragon Ball's
Oh
Super.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it
We
makes
know
sense,
what
Harley.
Whis is.
The best way to normalize something is to not bring it up in the first place. That makes
Exactly.
I
total
agree.
sense.
The
Yeah,
I
character is
agree.
just the character. He is
yeah.
who he is. They are who they are. Like it doesn't need you don't need to like constantly talk about it.
Cash.
It
It's
doesn't.
Yeah.
almost like if you were rated the
Mhm.
best. It's almost like as if you were rated the best black podcast hoster on Gamer Actual. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
what?
right? Right.
It's like, what?
I'm not. I'm a podcaster. I'm not a
I'm a
black
podcaster.
podcaster. That's
You
exactly.
don't have to keep adding these categories.
Exactly. But it's all they do is just to you I hate I'm so glad you brought that up. So I
Yeah.
hate that,
But
right?
really,
The
really,
the first
yeah, great
anything
heart.
with
I
the
really
first
appreciate.
anytime I hear anything with the first, the instantly I get the reaction of that's just always where I go. Like my eyes roll in the back of my head. Like, why? You don't
Bruh,
need to. You
but
don't need to.
props to you, Eagle-eyed Heartless. That's a really great take right there.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
like
Yo,
that.
listen, I didn't even see that, and I saw the game, bro. I
Yeah.
saw the game, so that's a very good catch, bro.
Yeah,
It
for me,
just
it just looked
worth
like
talking
the
about.
most
Mhm.
boringest game I'd ever seen in my life, to be honest. Man, you really
It did
eagled in
look
on that.
highly boring. It looked highly boring.
Yeah.
Worst
Yeah.
part is the lore that you receive in the game apparently is so you're driving the car and you're
Mhm.
communicating with two people on the other end of a radio who are semi scientific,
Mhm.
and they're trying to help you through this, but they're arguing back and forth over a beef they had from 10 years ago, and like that's like the
The
chunk of the
the
lore that
game.
you get, the game, the story. It's like, I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
I could be
smart.
a hater.
Mm. Yeah, it's
Yes.
annoying.
Yes.
It's annoying,
Yeah.
and
I
a
mean,
lot of people are sick of it. Even people from the trans community are sick of it.
I
They're
really
annoyed by
believe
it.
in what you were saying there, Heartless. The best way to normalize something is to just not even
Just
address it.
not even
If
address
it's
it.
normal, you wouldn't even notice it, you know?
Right.
If I
Yeah.
brought my friend
Mhm.
if I brought my trans friend to a party and I announced to people that they were trans upon entry, like, hey guys, this is my
It's
trans
like you're
friend,
putting a bunch of spotlight on that character on that person
Yeah.
for no reason.
when they just want to be, they
Right.
just want to fit in. And
Right.
the best way to tell somebody that they don't
When you're
fit
first
in,
introducing someone, the last thing you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is my trans friend." Like, who would do
What,
that? You know, you'd
bro,
be like, "No,
bro,
this is just my friend." You know,
bro,
this is just
bro,
my friend.
bro. I've
You know,
had someone do that to me
so
before though, and I had to
no
like
way.
pull him. I had to pull him to the side. I'm like, listen, please don't do that again. What did I do?
yeah,
You called me your black friend. yeah, but
Yeah, see?
think about what you just said. And she was like, oh, oh. And she
Yeah, that's
apologized the
right.
entire night. I'm like,
Mhm.
listen, it's fine. It's fine. But just like you guys, you have to think about those things. You have
Yeah,
to.
see, there you yeah, this is the most enlightened conversation we're ever gonna have on this podcast. I
Um,
love it. I
yeah,
love it.
but right?
Seriously,
No, but I feel
like,
like in media in general, it's gotten to the point where a lot of these writers are getting lazy and they're focused more on those things because they feel like that would give them more points as opposed to focusing on a good story and good gameplay mechanics. That's what's
well,
been happening.
in the case of this game, I just
Mhm.
really wonder why it's there. I mean, understand what do your to honor your point, Heartless, about like don't bring it up to make it
Mhm.
seem normal.
Right.
But for this game, it doesn't feel genuine. It just like why is it there in the first
Right.
Virtue
place?
signaling.
You know, it just
Mhm.
Or it's either
feels
virtue
yeah.
signaling or one of the writers or developers was so far up their own agenda that they decided to essentially, I don't want to say hijack, but insert themselves too much into the development of their own
In this
game.
Yeah.
situation, it feels like this topic or is this, these issues are being misrepresented in a
Right.
way that just feels ignorant, if that makes sense, you know? It's just
Bro.
not there isn't respect put on it, you know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
it feels weird, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know,
A good story brings together. It doesn't separate. It
you know.
doesn't, it doesn't breed separation or segregation. That's how I look
Yeah,
at it.
I mean, you can point out something, but
Mhm.
it just in a respectful way and show honor to it
Mhm.
without pointing it out directly, and I
Right.
feel this game's doing that. So
Mhm.
props to
Imagine,
you,
and
Heartless, man. That was a great
we're
take.
just
That's a
on
great take.
Pacific Drive. That's
Dude, make sure you
wild,
clip this part. That's gonna be make sure you clip this part, make it the commercial part. Heartless.
right?
Oh my god, that's
Yo,
great. It'll
imagine.
definitely catch
Mhm.
eyes. It'll
Yeah,
definitely catch eyes.
it's
Yeah,
definitely
for
gonna catch
sure.
eyes.
Well,
Um,
just throw a couple of hashtags on that and dude will be like 5,000 million followers by the end.
yeah. So let's get into the nitty gritty of the podcast. But before we do, Heartless, you got something you want to say?
I forgot.
Affiliation thing.
Well, the
Our
last comment I'll
sponsors.
say in the game slate this week
Hmm.
is overall really boring slate of games so far. And we've had a great year so far of games,
Hmm.
but overall this week, no, it
Cash, I got
wasn't
you.
happening.
The fanatical.
So
There you go.
Oh my God, the fanatical. Listen, before we get into the fanatical, they have no clue what I'm talking about. Before we get into the fanatical, I do want to say shout out to our sponsors over at X Element. They're really helping us put together a product that we can spread across social medias. Um,
That's
their
what's up.
sponsorship is really helping us a lot, and they deserve their credit. Shout out to Germ. He's over at X Element. He gave us the hookup. Shout out to X Face Bella. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all that. Now,
we're having
apparently, I was reading this before the stream started, and apparently they liked the way I was reading it. So they want me to do the affiliate links for this episode.
oh yeah.
Chat, listen, the best way you guys can support us is to support yourselves. So if you buy products using our affiliate links, we get a little percentage, and then you guys get a product. So it works out for the best for everyone. Let's do this. The first one is for a website. It's called Fanatical.
Mhm.
Fanatical is the number one destination in over 1 million gamers. For over 1 million gamers, with more than 4,500 officially licensed game keys available in 750 developers, including Sega, from 750 developers, including Sega, Warner
Mhm.
Bros., Ubisoft, Bethesda, etc., and a whole host of innovative indie developers. I said indie ideas, indie
Yeah.
developers. You guys definitely got to check out Fanatical. Honestly, even though I failed that was a lot of fucking fun for no reason. I
Hey,
have no clue
that was fun.
why.
That was good. That was
I am a
good.
fan. I'm a fan of that plug, and I'm also a fan of Fnatic. That was great. And
I'm also a fan of the next one as well, which is Origin PC.
yeah.
Origin PC is an award-winning company that builds custom PCs for gamers and professionals, and I also believe they have other stuff besides just like pre-built PCs and
Yeah,
whatnot.
they
Like
do.
you
They
can
have
just like
peripherals.
keyboards,
Yeah.
peripherals. That's the word
Yeah.
for it. See, that's
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Just a
But
shout
yeah,
out about that. We have a goal. We're hoping to get all of, through these links that you guys can help support us and have the show support itself.
pretty much
Exactly.
that's the
That's our
goal.
goal.
Exactly.
That's the
Thank
goal.
you. Thank
It's
you.
not required, but it is appreciated of you guys. We would just ask you to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. What would happen? We're gonna have them in the show notes, and also I might post it in chat and on the description
I
of
can
the
post it in
YouTube.
chat right now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
Go for it.
yeah,
little
yeah.
quick
Go.
links if you for anyone who wants to check it out. I got you.
Yeah. They actually have a promotion going on Fanatical right now that if you can actually buy 2 games that are worth like $60 and you can get both of those games for I think $14. I think that
No, and
sale is gonna be going for like
That
until
sale sounds so
Wednesday.
good.
Yeah. Any game on their list, you can pick 2 of them and you get it for $14. Go check it out.
it's a good deal. That's a
That's
great
a
deal.
great deal.
And
Yeah.
for people that are
Ideally
fighting
with
for
the
hard drive
$60 man.
space, pick up the
Mm-hmm.
small ones. So
Yeah.
pick up the small cheap ones. All
Yeah. So yeah,
right.
but let's get into
So
it.
we're gonna start with Nintendo.
Yeah. So what do you guys
All
think of
right.
the Nintendo Direct, Germ?
I watched the Nintendo Direct. It was long this time, like almost 30
It was long.
minutes,
A lot of
and
Yeah.
games on
Yeah.
there.
yeah, I felt it was an interesting, take with Nintendo this time. All
Mm-hmm.
third parties for the most part, So, one that jumped out at me is like they're bringing over those Xbox titles
Mm-hmm.
originally, all the news was around, Grindhouse and all those ones were coming to PlayStation only, but they're coming to Nintendo. So that was a bit of a surprise.
That's what's
I
up.
thought, but overall, that's cool. It kind of shows the points we were making last week about Xbox just becoming a thing where you could just have it on any platform that you're gonna play on. And
Mm-hmm.
from what I can see from the slate, there's like 25 games here.
Yeah.
All of them are third party for the most part, like
Not only
Mickey
Yeah.
that.
Mouse and all these
Mm-hmm.
different ones. So it just points to me that I think Nintendo is not going to release any, first party games this year, probably because they're getting
Jerem,
ready
check
for
your
the
headset.
next
Check your
Switch.
headset.
Not only
Is it
that, I
not
feel
on?
like
No, no,
Is
just
it
check it.
not?
I think I hear some
it's static.
staticky. Check the
It's
wire.
static.
Check the
Yeah.
wire.
Oh, okay.
But keep talking though. Keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, no first party games, all third party. So it feels, yeah, Nintendo is probably not going to release anything major from their first party properties this year. It's going to be all just these third party ranks, and I feel overall a really boring slate too because the games are all
Monkey
just kind
ball.
of remakes of all the old games.
Monkey
Monkey
ball.
Ball, yeah, it's just the
Like,
remakes of all old games. Nothing
Yeah.
really new.
Some
So
are not even
I don't
remakes.
know.
It's just the first time to switch. That's all they
As
are.
a Switch fan, if I was a fan of the Switch, which I do have a Switch, I think we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
just
do. Yeah.
overall, like, why? There's nothing here that I want to pick up. Maybe the Mickey one, but
Yeah.
again,
Me too.
that's to be honest. Like, I don't know. Mickey Mouse has never been like a game that I really
No, that looks
wanted to
fun. I'm
play.
not gonna lie.
Underwhelming to say the least, huh?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
remember enjoying it back in the day, but that was, back on what was it, the Wii? That was like a Wii game, and it was cool, but it wasn't like, whoa, I gotta have this,
I remember it being on Xbox 360. I can remember that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think it was Xbox first, and then it came to PlayStation later, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But I
Something to
think it
that
was on the
effect.
Wii first,
Yeah.
the first Wii, which is cool. But to be honest, I hated the Wii controls the whole life cycle of the Wii, so I would never play. I would never play any Wii games like that weren't like party games.
Mm-hmm.
I
Um,
agree. Trash
and
controls.
Unicorn Overlord has my attention. I'm excited about that one. That one looks really cool. It's like a side scroller beat 'em up game. That
Yeah.
that one seemed really cool. Like I'm a huge fan of that genre, like
Yeah.
Dragon's Crown, Streets of Rage. I love those games. So that one had my attention. And I played TNT Shredder's Revenge. So that one's probably the only one of the whole lineup that I probably would buy. So
Cash, if you can't increase your volume.
My volume's down. How's that? I'm pretty sure I'm louder than y'all.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Germ, you
You
good?
see?
You
yeah,
still going?
yeah,
You,
I'm good.
you
You
see
guys
what
hear me
Wabbit
good?
said?
Hmm?
You see what Wabbit said?
That's not happening, Wabbit. So Wabbit just says, speaking of games, you said thought Gears of War and Halo going to PS5.
No,
No, that's
thoughts
not
on
happening.
Gears.
No,
Of,
Oh,
no,
that
that's
thoughts on
no,
Gears of
that's
War.
not
well,
happening.
we're gonna
That's
we're
that's
gonna
not
talk
happening.
about that later in the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What games are coming over from Xbox?
Yeah,
But yeah,
we
so
have the
far those
four
are not on the
games.
list.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
4 games they already confirmed that are going over to third party. So we could get into that.
yeah.
But
And
back
just
to
a
the
shout out to
Nintendo.
Cash. He was
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah, I was right on all of
but
them. Anyways,
be sure.
for me, the Nintendo
what
Direct,
what about
I've come to that conclusion that the Nintendo Direct I wasn't the target audience for the Nintendo Direct, bro. I've
Pretty
come to
yeah?
that.
much.
Yeah.
Unicorn
Um,
Overlord looks cool, but that's it.
Yeah, no, I got two games that I'm really looking forward to from the Nintendo Direct, and one we already discussed, which was the Epic Mickey, but there's another one that you probably didn't even pay attention to, Jerem, and is One Crab's Trash.
That what is that? See, and that's another one of those
That
games where
looks
not enough information. I don't
so
know what the hell it
friggin'
is.
amazing to me, bro. So it's a
That's
Souls-like game where
definitely,
you play a crab trying to get his shell back.
definitely not for me.
That sounds lit.
Bro,
What?
Uh,
What?
like seriously, how is
listen,
a game?
Yo.
listen. You have, I
I'll
think
let
you
Yeah.
have
I'll, I'll
like
let I'll let you cook. But how is a game like that supposed to live in Elden Ring DLC? But I'll let you cook. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but the game looks fun to me,
No,
bro. Like
no,
the
no, no.
game
The
looks
fact that it's a crab, the fact that it's a crab,
a Souls-like crabs game.
that seals the deal. It will compete against Elden Ring. I promise you. That DLC might suffer. That
Bro,
DLC might have low
and
sales.
no, get this, every shell, because he's basically hopping into different shells, right? And every single shell he hops into gives him another ability, and I think you have like
Yeah,
57 shells
I
to choose from.
I
That is
saw
That is
that.
sick.
amazing. That is
I think they
amazing to
came they
me.
came
I
out
don't
with
know
a
why.
snail game. They came out with a snail like game like that for my phone. I tried it out a little bit. Like you put on these different snails,
Yeah.
shells for your snail, and you become like a demon snail, an
Somebody give me the name
angel
of this
snail.
game. Somebody give
Uh,
me the name of this game,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
it seemed cool, but
What's the name?
Which one? The one that I was talking about?
Yeah,
crap.
the crab game.
One crab's trash. The game looks fun as hell.
I am
Okay.
100% going to look up some gameplay of this for
It seems
myself.
like
Go
the
look it
audience
up.
is you. The audience is you guys for sure. 'Cause that's definitely not me. I'll be happy with my unicorn
Outside of
overlord.
that, nothing else didn't really stand out to me. And also, just to point out, like we've been saying that Xbox only has 4 games that are really officially going third party. But when you think about it, they have other games as well. Because technically, Xbox owns Rare, and they just dropped a bunch of games on Nintendo.
Yeah, and was
Killer
it they own
Instinct. Ki-
Rayman? Rayman?
You
no, no,
guys,
no,
I'm
it's
still caught up
Ubisoft.
with this crab.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this gameplay. This is Souls like. This is
yeah,
hilarious.
bro. It's
This
a
is
Souls-like
hilarious.
crab game.
Okay,
That's all you need to hear, bro. It's
That's
insane.
you. I'll watch your stream. I'm gonna watch you on your stream, Hard. Let's just break that down. It's gonna be so fun. Make that the community night game when it comes out, okay?
It
Because
doesn't look
Switch.
multiplayer, but this is it's hilarious. I'm so sorry. We move on. We move on. We
Yeah.
move on.
Okay, well, that like there is something to said about games that become memes, though, and that
Right?
sounds like it could be one of those. So.
No, I feel like I
This is
imagine
serious
this might
business.
exactly. I imagine this is gonna end up like not to the magnitude of Pal World, but I feel like people are gonna pick it up for the memes, and they're gonna see that this game's actually a very good game.
What's another game that's like for the memes?
A game that's for the memes. I don't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know. Like, um,
What's a
I
game that's
can't
for,
think.
really
for the democracy. Any
Yeah,
game in
well,
which you
obviously,
go around
yeah,
screaming spread
Helldivers for the
democracy,
Helldivers?
it's
Yeah, yeah.
Helldivers.
But I
yeah.
hear like
So that's the
some of the
modern
best
ones.
moments in Helldivers are actually like moment to moment gameplay, which that's what you want from a game
Mhm.
like Helldivers. It's
Everyone loves
not
it.
because it's yeah, people are loving the game. I want to get
Yeah, that
into it
I,
like
though.
the gameplay is so simple and so intuitive and so fun, and
Hmm.
it just feels like classic games, but very modern.
Yeah.
Like a modern Halo, like an old Halo, fun, but just
Mm.
very modern and very accessible.
I
Props to
love the
those
satire
developers.
of it. I
Serious,
love the satire of all of
yeah.
that. It's just
Props to
like
those developers. They just killed it
yeah.
with just everything of
I
the
find
game.
it funny though that the head developer was like, "Listen, if I were you, I wouldn't try to even purchase Helldivers right now."
And I think the thing that is probably making the game the most successful
Hmm.
is the game was $40
Hmm.
it's
to
a great
start.
price.
That's a
Yeah.
great price for
Um.
a game that you're gonna play like that. Like they
Mhm.
could easily have charged $60 and you would still be happy. But they only charged us
Now,
40. Like we would be less happy, but I think overall we would still be happy.
I plan on getting the game solely because I don't have to pay $60.
See,
I don't have the game yet,
But
but there
even
would
if
be
you
no
paid
chance.
60, if
There'd
it
be no
came on
chance.
sale and you bought it at the $40, you would
I'd be
still be
happy.
happy, right?
I'd be
Yeah,
happy. But
see?
now it's 40. When it goes on sale, it'll be 15 or 20, and I'll be even
It
extra
may
happy.
never go on sale, but but I'm sure
It
it will
might never go on
eventually.
sale, but
yeah, because of
Yeah.
its popularity right now, I don't think the price is gonna drop
I
anytime
have
soon.
props to
what
those developers for really like noticing, just seeing where we are and be like, hey, we're gonna do a great fun game you can play with your friends for a reasonable price. We're gonna basically undercut the price of all the other games for a great game and get it in your hands.
Mhm.
Great,
So what did the devs
great.
say, Cash?
Where the devs say if they wouldn't blame people if they didn't buy the game right now because they're having so much server issues.
Wow.
For
So they're
Helldivers.
basically
Yeah.
encouraging people like don't rush to go get the game right now because
Well,
we need
did
to
you
fix the
hear that
servers.
they did? The servers were maxed out at like 400K,
And they had to
400K
buy some.
players.
They bought some new servers
It,
last week.
it's now up to 700K now,
Yeah,
like
they
for
bought
the
a
servers,
bunch
which
of
is
servers.
almost
So
doubled. They almost doubled the server size because the game
yeah,
is so popular.
And
Yep.
that's a tough thing though. That's a tough ask because okay, let's say you have 700,000 servers, right? And you need more servers, right?
right,
But your peak gameplay is not ever going to be your long-term average.
right,
So you go rush and you go get servers set up and you make this big investment so you can have 1.5 million players on there, and then after the hype dies down, you now only need servers to run 900,000 people at max capacity. Like that's your in 6 months that'll be like your max. You'll never
See,
hit one. You
we
know what I'm
talked about
saying?
that last week.
yeah.
Like we'll see
I
where the game is in the middle of this year. But I after playing the game, I said that before I played the game. Now that I played it,
mhm.
I think this might be a game that has staying power. We'll be talking about this game for a
Staying
while.
power,
Really
staying
soon.
power, absolutely. Like and having
Yeah.
900,000 active players is like incredible. But
How much
if you
active
build a
players do they have right now?
The only thing I think that'll kill this game is more games coming out. If another game comes out that just takes its players away.
it's not
And
PvP though,
yeah,
right?
It's not
not
PvP. No,
no,
and
it's
they
not.
said it will never be PvP.
Yeah.
So that means that
It's meant to be a cooperative experience, which I
Yeah.
think is actually to the benefit of the game because you want to play with your friends.
Mhm.
that's another
That's
reason why it's only $40 though, because
yeah.
you're not gonna get 500 hours out of the game. You're not. I mean,
We'll
unless you're
see.
really into
I don't
it.
know.
But once I
Uh,
beat the story once, like, what is it that's gonna
Well,
make
to
me?
think
Is
this
there
game doesn't really it
have
has a
a story?
story, but you're there for the co-op. That's the selling point of this game.
So the co-op is like a new experience over and over again.
It's not necessarily a new experience, but it feels very nostalgic. Like think of like Halo back in the day, or original Call of Duties back in the day, or GoldenEye. It tickles those elements. Like I'm playing with my friends, we're just having a great time. We're communicating like Hades. You know Hades, right?
Yeah, of course.
Heartless. You've watched his stream, right? He gets hella mad when he plays Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
But I have watched Hades a lot, stream that game a lot, and you can tell he's just calm and cool. I mean, he gets
Yeah.
upset, but he doesn't get upset like he plays Street Fighter. That's just testament to that game where it just feels good and it's fun, you
Right.
know. And that
How are they gonna keep rejuvenating the player base though?
Well, it's a live
No,
service, so I'm sure they could do all sorts of things: cosmetics,
I
more
wonder what
it's
their
difficulty
live
outline
levels,
is.
more
service.
enemies.
Yeah, it is
There's
a
It's a
live service
more
game.
weapons.
It's a
That-
$40 live service game. So
yeah.
let's think about this. Let's break this down, okay?
Hmm.
Games like Fortnite are entirely free. They're
Yeah.
live service. Overwatch, entirely free live service. Oh, you did have to pay $60 for Overwatch at once, which that's a whole other discussion.
Right.
But Apex free. So now you have a game which is $40. It's live service. You can spend money on a store. There's no battle pass. I'm assuming though.
I don't think they
There is a
do.
battle pass, yeah, but this
There's
game, what sets Helldivers cool is that there's in-game currency that you can buy a lot of the things with, which is, cool. It's like I can technically get a lot of the cool cosmetics by just grinding the game out, and even though I can't pay for the battle pass. But yeah, it feels really fair the way they're monetizing this game. I really praise the
I mean,
developers
forty
for it.
dollars is a great price.
I ha-
yeah.
I have
But
watched a lot of people stream it, and I've played it myself. I haven't streamed it, but I played it myself. The game just feels fair and it feels good. It really feels like literally there's someone sitting here next to me and I'm playing the game with them and we're just having a great time, Where it brings back that feeling of
That
playing
couch
games with
co-op.
friends. Yeah, because
question.
go ahead.
How do you guys feel? $60 game. You got to pay to get the battle pass, and there's microtransactions in the store.
No, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
That's scary. That's a big problem.
That's
If
what
games
Suicide
head in
Squad
that
to the
direction,
Justice League. Well, not fully, but kinda.
Like
Was
was
if
it
games seem like they're heading in that
oh,
direction.
Mhm.
something we overlooked at for the Nintendo is Battlefront 2 combo. Yeah, we overlooked that one. But we'll come back to that. We're talking Helldivers right now. Um I really feel, yeah, I feel the game is really, it just really is a great callback to where the industry was and where the industry needs to return. That's where I
Mm.
really feel Hell Drivers really succeeds. I mean, I can't praise them enough for that.
We're missing that
Um,
co-op experience.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have co-op experience in games, but it ain't like this. You know,
Right.
it ain't like
Pe-
it's
People are
there's an
clamoring for a
intent.
co-op experience,
Yeah,
bro. People are
yeah.
clamoring for it. We've been
Like
asking for a great
anyone
co-op
in the
experience for
chat,
years.
pop off about your experiences in the game. You'll see
We
what I
need a
mean. Like the game is so like it feels like a nice warm sweater. It just feels good to
Yeah,
play. You
nice
know,
warm sweater.
it just feels good to have on to be around. It just feels good. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that old best friend that you haven't seen in a long time. As soon as you see them, you're just like, you're greeting them, you're saying hi. This is the way this game feels. It just feels
And
right,
it's
you know?
player base.
Um,
Steam player base is crazy right now. It's like
yeah.
393,000 people playing right now. Over
Okay, this
393,000.
goes back to my point though. They
Mm-hmm.
had 300,000 players,
Mm-hmm.
flooded the servers. They went and bought more server space, right,
Mm-hmm.
to get up to 700,000, and then now it's back to 300,000.
393, yeah.
I mean,
But
I guess it's good.
within this 24-hour span though, they've got up to the peak was 458,000.
Well,
Check your stream,
Cash,
Cash.
Yeah.
pull up, pull up Suicide Squad numbers. You'll see what I mean. Like, those games have been out roughly about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Those two games have been out roughly about the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind that Helldivers doesn't have access to Xbox players.
Right.
So these are only stream and PlayStation players that are up to almost 400,000 players.
Right.
Add Xbox into the mix, that's another 200,000 players right there, easily. You know.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it says the stream is for yeah, I've been playing with solo. Wait a minute.
yeah,
Is the
I've
The
stream
video's
back?
watched.
chopping up.
The
Is
video's
it back?
chopping now?
Are we good?
Let's see if I close this out, if that happens.
We good? Yeah,
We're
I
still
have watched the
frozen, but
streams.
I'm recording too. I just turned on the
Can you
recorder just in case.
can you guys hear us at least? Thumbs up in the chat.
Thumbs up if you guys can hear us in the chat.
Oh,
They saying
Obviously,
they
it's
can hear
good.
me. That's
Okay.
crazy. What's good, fam?
Can't
cool.
hear. Okay, so as long as the audio is good, I
Yeah,
don't really give a shit.
I have watched Hades, Solo, and Zeely on streams like most of last week and a little bit of the week before,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's great, man. It is great.
Okay. Oh, you wanted to pull up Suicide Squad killer? That's something because we're actually gonna touch on the Suicide Squad unless you guys want to get into that right now, like
Yeah,
because
but
we're
just to finish my
definitely
point,
yeah.
on that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So without access to Xbox players, Helldivers is at almost 400,000 players.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Suicide Squad, which has access to all the players, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
cross-play game, right?
Yeah.
It's like what 1,000 active players right now, and they've been
No.
out about the same
Oh no
amount of
no no
time.
no 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 no.
54.
We're at 700 right now,
Yeah, see, not even 1,000 over the course of 3 systems.
and
See,
less than 2 weeks, bro. It hasn't been a full two
yeah,
weeks yet.
yeah.
That's
Helldivers
insane.
has been out what, a month, less than a
Mm-hmm.
month. So
Less
yeah,
than a
they've been
month.
out about the same amount of
About the
In
same
time.
time.
quotations, has fallen short of our expectations,
Right.
says
Yeah,
Warner
it
Bros.
really has.
Fallen short. That thing fell all the way to the ground.
It dropped
Let's
again, so now it's at
let,
679.
let's compare the two. So Helldivers is meant to be like a really strong co-op experience to keep
Mm-hmm.
players coming back because you're enjoying time with your friends.
Right.
Suicide Squad's supposed to be that, but it's also hugely story driven. You
Right.
see the difference here?
Mm-hmm.
So they put a bunch of money in this dumbass story that no one's liking, and took away from the co-op experience. So if they would have put all the money towards the co-op experience, who
Mm-hmm.
knows? The game could
You
have
know
been
what we
better.
need?
What?
We need a game that has an excellent story mode co-op experience and has its own independent PvP
Bro.
system that just runs perfect. It's like a good game on its. They have to be two independently good games
Mm-hmm.
in one package.
So basically,
Overwatch
like what
tried to
Call
do that.
Overwatch, but
Overwatch
Call
2,
of Duty,
remember?
but Call of Duty was doing
Overwatch.
that for years prior.
No, no, no,
Remember?
no. Wait.
Oh,
Overwatch does not
remember?
have a story mode.
No, Overwatch 2 tried to do that. They announced that they were going to have a story mode and the traditional
Scumbags.
PvP
They
that we're
fool
used
people.
to.
This,
Yeah,
if we're gonna talk about this today, I will. But what
let's go.
Activision Blizzard did is pure scummy. They convinced people after paying $60 for the game that they were gonna come out with Overwatch 2, and it's gonna have a story mode and this and that, and it's gonna be a free game. It's not. What they did was they removed one character from the 6v6, made it 5v5,
Mm-hmm.
released the same. Yo, I didn't re-download over. I didn't purchase and download Overwatch 2. My Overwatch 1 updated to have a new banner that said Overwatch 2, and
You're
obviously a
lying.
bunch of, yeah, a bunch of in-game overhauls. They told you it was a new game coming out with a story mode and everything. You never got story mode. They threw in a battle pass.
Hmm.
So I paid $60 for a game. Then they said they were releasing Overwatch 2,
Mm-hmm.
updated my Overwatch 1 to have a battle pass. There's no Overwatch 1 servers.
Mm. Oh wow.
They literally force
I
people
feel that
into
was
paying
really
money.
wrong of Blizzard to do that. Be like,
It is.
you're having fun with Overwatch 1, and you're just gonna take that away from me, and now I have to no choice but to play Overwatch 2?
Yeah,
Right.
That's scummy. I'm sorry. Like, let's just say the arcade, the fighters, the Street Fighter. Like, I have that they have never done that. Whenever they come out with a new fighting game, it's always a new game, and it never overlaps with the old one. Granted,
Right.
people don't play the old ones that much, but still, if I choose to, if I
Don't
want to
take
load
that
up
out.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter,
Don't take that
if
option away
if
from
I
me.
if I want to play Street Fighter 5 right now, the servers will be working and I can
even
play.
Street
You
Fighter
know?
4, even
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4 works.
Yeah, because I saw you
So
play Street Fighter 4 on stream recently.
Online with my friends, I
Right.
couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? They
that
still
is
run
really
servers,
scummy.
dedicated servers for this,
Mm-hmm.
Like, shame on Activision Blizzard for even considering
which is
That's
that.
now
crazy.
Microsoft, Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
But you
Shame,
know what's
shame, shame.
funny? What's funny about this whole
Uh,
Suicide Squad? People were saying they should make the game free, but if they did
uh,
that, people would be pissed because some
on the
people paid
note that you
$100.
were on the note that you were going, Heartless, like a direction I would love to see from monetization in games is if you're gonna have the PvP experience and you're gonna have like the story lore experience, the solo mode of a game, it
Mhm.
would be great if the PvP was free. If I could download that for free
Yes,
and play
Yeah, that would
that,
make sense.
yes,
and
That would
then
make
and
sense.
then if I choose to, if I'm really enjoying the
for
PvP,
$30,
I
for
would
thirty
buy the
dollars,
story mode for
for
30
thirty
$40.
dollars.
Yeah, 30 $40.
Hmm.
Just the story mode. Play
Yes,
it, delete it.
yes,
Or,
yes.
and
You know who did
that's what
that?
I wish games would do that.
Fortnite did that.
Yeah.
Really?
When Fortnite first released, it was a two-part game. There was a story mode, which I bet you didn't even know about
I
because
didn't know.
the battle royale was so popular.
Mm.
But you had to pay for that other part of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, but
makes
That
nobody.
see
sense.
that would be a great monetization model, which yeah, you can throw in the battle pass if you want. I'll pay for that too.
Right.
But based upon if I like the PvP or not.
That makes
But
a lot of
if
sense.
if I if I'm playing the game and I'm like, oh, that character's cool. Like, who are these monsters? I want to know more. I'll play the story mode and I'll buy it for 30, $40. Maybe it's not on sale, whatever. I'll buy that. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. And maybe there's more ways to monetize that. You come up with new episodes, new chapters of that story mode. I'll buy that too, and I'll play it. And like instead of the scummy way they're doing it now, which is always battle passes and buying the premium $120 version of a game, which includes a season pass, and then I may or may not even like the season pass when it
Hmm.
comes out. You know what I'm
They
Right.
saying?
don't
I
I'm
even
get
tell you
it.
all the characters. They don't tell you all the
Yeah.
characters in the season pass.
like, I'm
No,
sorry,
they
but
don't.
Ed's gonna be cool, but I'm sorry, like, where the hell is my Ibuki and where's my, where's all that? But, you know, I'm just saying, like, this is where, I'm sure we're gonna get into PlayStation here in a minute, but
Hmm.
it's like game developers are leaving money on the table by not monetizing this way, I feel.
Hmm.
You know?
Like 3 days early access. They do a bunch of like
Yeah.
weird stuff just to get people to
Like,
buy the bigger
let's throw
ticket
yeah.
version of whatever they're putting out.
I mean, 3-day early access is pretty cool, and it's pretty a great way to incentivize people.
Hmm.
I think. I think that should come with pre-ordering though, and
Yeah,
rather than getting
pre-order
a
makes
deluxe
more
edition,
sense. Hmm.
It
rather than
shouldn't
getting
be
a
something
deluxe
you pay
edition.
for. It
Right.
should be,
A deluxe
like, yeah,
edition. That's
if
what
I
they did with
pre-order it,
Suicide Squad.
sure, but yeah.
That's what it isn't. That what it? No, never mind. I'm wrong. But yeah, it should be a part of a pre-order rather than if you pay more money.
But that's what used to happen. You used to whenever you did like pre-orders, you would get early access. That's not what they're doing anymore. Buy
That's
premium,
Yeah.
get early
that.
access.
Yeah, that's not cool. I don't like that.
Like,
Yeah.
think of the way Tekken came out. Like, I'm glad we got it all at one time, but
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't it have been cool if you could just get the online, play that for free, and then if I want
No,
to know why they throw
they
these
would fail
Mishras
as
in
a
this
company.
volcano?
They would fail as a company.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, with fighting games, a
It's
huge
the
percentage of the fan base is there specifically. I've never touched story mode in Street Fighter in any of the
yeah,
Street Fighters.
yeah, me
Never. I
either.
don't care about that. I care about getting the game, going on YouTube,
You don't
studying
want
my
to know why
characters.
Jury has no eyeball? You don't
I
want to
want to know
know?
why Jury has no socks or shoes. Actually,
Mm.
that's my
Well, if you
biggest
watch
concern
the
I
right now.
story
think I
mode,
was the one told Heartless
yeah.
about Jury
If
and that her parents were freaking lawyers. He was like, "What?"
if you watch
Yeah,
if you watch the
well,
story mode, you would know, you know?
yeah,
But anyway.
but that goes back to your point though.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying would not work with fighting games because
Okay.
people don't really care much about the story mode. But other games, shooter games, stuff
Well,
like that,
the pro like us, the people that play online a lot, we don't
Mm-hmm.
care. But the
kids
casuals,
do.
yeah, they
You're right.
care.
You're right. You're
You
Yeah.
know?
right. Kids and
So
casuals.
Mm-hmm.
so that's where like they could buy just the story mode without necessarily online and maybe get really good at the story mode and then come to online later for free. I think that would be a great door avenue for
Yeah.
Right.
fighting games. Or maybe they never go online. And that's great because we don't have to deal with those one and doneers, you know? Like,
Right.
it's
I have to
win-win all
address
the way
something.
around.
I have to
So
address something.
Mhm.
X Phase Bella, I see you in chat. She's asking, why does King wear the tiger mask? I asked the same thing for years and years, and I actually thought that it wasn't even a tiger mask. I thought it
it's a
was like literally
jaguar.
the character's head, the
No, it's a
jaguar.
mask. It's a mask.
It's a
It's
mask, and he is based off of a famous luchador. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently, whatever the lore is for that guy and in this character, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
it took me years to understand that it is literally a mask, and
And
he's
it's
a
two
First of
different.
luchador.
And
all,
it's two
it's a
different kings.
jaguar. It's a
Yeah, and it's
jaguar mask. It's a
yeah,
It's a
jaguar.
jaguar mask.
Yeah.
and it's two
So,
different kings.
Bello cares
but
about the
yeah,
story mode. Bello, that's because you're like
yeah.
65.
Hey, hey, don't be capping on. Don't be capping on the generation that got us here.
I
Yeah,
also
don't
have.
be.
I know I've been talking a lot. I just have one thing to say about
Mm-hmm.
pay models in games. I really am a fan of when games give you the game for free and they say, hey, if you want to spend money, all you get from us is cosmetics,
Mm-hmm.
no in game advantages, but at least you can really make yourself look really cool. And it gives the people who don't want to spend money the option to be a part of a huge player base and not have to spend money. Like, I'm never going to spend money on Warzone, but I get to put a lot of hours in Warzone. When I play, I see a lot of people buying skins. So it works for they have player bases who are willing to spend money, and then they allow those people play with as many people as possible because they're not putting a paywall on the game.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Like, if you're gonna buy something in a game, it should never give you any kind of advantage whatsoever. No special guns, no special mods, no special any of that crap.
Overwatch ruined
Yeah,
that. They
yeah.
ruined that. You now get characters for buying the battle pass. Characters that you can
Oh,
bring
you're
into
right.
ranked mode. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't have the battle
Bro,
pass,
bro, I'm sorry. Manga is broken, bro. Manga is disgusting. I hate fighting
luckily
it.
I haven't
Yeah,
fought him yet.
you see, like it's just wrong. I really, yeah, that's just no. Like you should never get anything that affects the performance in the game. Yeah, as Heartless said, cosmetic only.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite and maybe League of Legends are probably the two best in the industry at this right now. You know,
Mm-hmm. I don't play Destiny,
and
but I've heard Destiny also has almost like a pay to win model. Like there
I
are
haven't
weapons
played
and
that
shit that
game.
you can buy. I've never played Destiny. It never appealed to me. It's never appealed to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
this
um,
the Suicide Squad. I feel like this is kind of dead in the water, guys. I don't see this game living past
Well,
say
last comment I
next
want to say
year.
about Suicide Squad is
Mhm.
what their DLC, the first DLC character is going to be the Joker. Cool. It's a
But I
Suicide Squad
don't.
game.
There's no
Great.
kind of talk about Joker. No one's talking
Well,
about
first of
this.
all, for DC properties, I'm tired of the freaking Joker, man. Like they
Yeah,
throw Joker in everything. And
everything.
granted, cool, Joker is popular, but come on, how many versions of the Joker have we seen across all these WB
You
produced
sound exhausted of the
games
Joker.
now?
Right?
I'm exhausted of the Joker.
That's
He's been in
consumer
all the
fatigue. It's
movies.
consumer
He's
fatigue.
Yeah.
he's been in all the movies. He's been in all those, Injustice. Just like, come on, like a Joker again. Like, I mean, was
Right.
anyone asking for this?
Not
I
Who
would have been
ordered
everyone.
happy.
this?
I would have been happy him just staying dead. And when you revive characters like these, I mean,
Hmm.
I know it's not the same Joker. It's a different Joker, but
Different universe
it
Joker.
ruins the legacy of the previous character. Like the Joker died, and he got like this great send off in those Arkham games, and it was
Right.
just a great closure of that character's story. Same thing with Batman.
Hmm.
But now you're bringing him back. It's just like you're why, I
It's a
just I don't
it's
get
a
it. I
different
just really don't.
interpretation, Germ. It's a different
They're
interpretation.
lucky
They
it
need to
was
interpret
free.
them
Can you
stop
imagine it?
losses.
Can
Right.
you imagine if people had to pay for that? They'd
Oh,
be even more outraged. They're just
exactly.
lucky it's free.
This Joker
You
is
know,
figuring himself out, Germ. We need to give him a chance. He's trying to
Joker's
figure out
gonna be a
whether
suicidal killer. What other direction
right,
can you take the Joker?
he's
You
not
I'm
know,
he's not
concerned that
sure what
Joker.
kind of killer he is yet.
whatever.
I'm concerned that Joker soon will not be sure what his sexuality is,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
is
See, does anybody want that? Does anyone want a hero Joker?
Nobody,
That would
nobody,
even be
nobody
worse.
wants a
That would
yo.
hero
Didn't
Joker.
they? Didn't they have? You know, I'm not
Oh,
hating on nobody, but didn't they have a gay Batman recently?
I don't know. I
did
haven't read a
they? I
comic
don't
in
think so.
years.
Oh no,
I don't.
they had a Joker that gave birth to a kid.
Yeah, they had Joker that gave birth
Yeah,
to a
yeah. He
kid.
has a
They had
son.
Joker that gave birth to a
Yeah,
kid.
Joker gave birth to a butt baby,
Joker did not need to give birth to a kid.
and he legit said it. I think he said it in the book, like it looks like a butt baby or some shit like that, to that effect, something to
Oh
that
my
effect.
god.
And I'm
You
like,
see,
I
like
just want to
why?
know. I just
fatigue,
want to know
and
how Joker ended up getting the parts to have a baby.
Oh, it was magic. Zatanna put a curse on him. I remember
of
that
course,
book.
it's
Zatanna
superheroes.
put
They
a
can do
curse
whatever
on
they
him.
want.
Right.
That's crazy.
But you see what I mean? Like all the characters that DC fanboys and have been girls have been waiting for such a long time, and we get the Joker again. It's
Mm.
just there's such an opportunity to bring characters that people have been asking for decades. Why the Joker? I just don't get it. I really
No,
don't.
they I feel like they keep pulling from that well, and now that well is running dry. Shit, that well
Yeah.
has ran dry. I'm sorry. You have so
Consumer
many.
fatigue.
Yeah, you have such a friggin' vast like roster of characters, and you keep going back to those main
You know,
guys.
and if you're gonna do something like that, it shouldn't be the first character. It should be maybe season 3 or 4, where many people have gotten like the game a little bit, and you have
Right.
all these other characters to pick from. Maybe people are sick of those. Sure, bring the Joker in, and it would just kind of like satisfy people that may have been asking for Joker that whole time. But now it's just like right from the start, and it's not
Right.
even the real Joker.
Right.
It's like I really don't understand it at all. I really
But
don't.
Mr. Freeze would have been a perfect addition, even though
Yeah.
I know he's coming up next. You could have put Mr.
Yeah, see?
Freeze,
Yeah, don't start with the Joker. If you're
not
gonna
the
do that,
Joker.
don't
Yeah,
start.
put him like
Yeah.
third DLC, and people would be like,
Yeah.
"Mm, okay, cool." Deathstroke is apparently after Mr. Freeze. There's gonna be Deathstroke. Those
Yeah.
guys I seem a lot more fun for people to get their hands on than a Joker on a fucking flying
Like
umbrella
like
like
I think
Mary Poppins. Like, why? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's got the right idea where, they gave us Doctor Octopus and they gave us Venom, and now they're gonna give us probably Green Goblin in the next game.
Right.
And it's like cool how, they're giving you what everyone that you want, but they're not giving them to you like just, like that, like they're doing it justice, and they're making it seem it fits in the universe and the story,
Batman Who Laughs. Who said that? Somebody in chat says Batman Who Laughs. Batman Who
Yeah.
Laughs would be a dope addition, but
Yeah,
he'd kill
see?
everybody. They
And
can't
see, and
control him.
that would have satisfied both the Joker and Batman people,
Right.
a character like that. What a
Nah.
wasted opportunity by WWE.
Right. Nah, Batman Who Laughs would kill everybody. So I don't even. He wouldn't make sense in the story at that point. He's too
As I
disgusting.
said, this is going to become a WB thrashing podcast. No
That's
offense to all the
crazy.
WB fanboys out there,
That's
and to in
crazy.
case if you want to
Yo,
sponsor us, we won't take your money.
This
No,
is like a
thank you.
media trashing podcast.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, because
You
everybody
know?
got shit on at some point today.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
since we're on the subject of the Suicide Squad, because we actually had this in the podcast notes, but we kind of like got right into it without even,
It
um,
just kind of went there. Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty much.
So about this whole Suicide Squad thing, Warner Brothers recently just like admit or accepted the fact that this game has underperformed. What was the exact quote? I don't remember what it said.
I got you right now.
I got you.
Has fallen short of our expectations.
Right? You think? You think?
You think?
What a
bro. This.
surprise! A WB game falling short of expectations.
$70 game. There's
Mm-hmm.
678 people online on Steam. It is one of their key games of the year. It's a
In
big loss for them.
Q1, and this is just Q1, and they've already said they don't see this game really generating any more profit for the rest of the year. And
WB is taking it on the chin.
compared to friggin' Hogwarts Legacy, that was the biggest selling video game of last year, beating
Was it
out any
really?
other. Yes, beating out even live service games. That's a big
Or
deal.
and remember, people were talking about Hogwarts like game of the year last year. So
And
overall, the
it
game
didn't
had
even
a
got
good
an
response.
award, bro. It didn't even get a
It went from people
nomination.
threatening
Yeah.
streamers
Yeah,
to
best game of the
being
year.
the biggest. Wow.
Biggest game of the year.
Will
The
that go on
best
sale?
selling game of the year. Eventually, it's a story game.
Overall, it was the best-selling game. It beat out Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4. From what I hear,
it
Resident
beat
Evil
out Call
4.
of Duty, and you know Call of Duty is usually the biggest game of the year. It beat out Call of Duty.
Last I heard, Resident Evil 4 was the top
Yo, Shaq,
money
welcome in.
was a top money maker last year. That's what I read anyway. But that was a
Hmm.
old numbers, so I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy was the biggest selling game, the biggest selling game of the year last year.
Oh, oh, that good for them. But it was a good
Hmm.
game, and it's good to see kind of
It felt
Harry
like a
Potter
love letter
branching out
to
into other
Hogwarts
media.
to Harry Potter fans, bro. It felt like a love letter to the Harry Potter series.
Good for
Like
them.
again, I just started playing the game again, and it feels so amazing to just go back into the game and just play it.
You know,
It's dope,
that reminds me.
right?
You said it feels like a love letter to Harry Potter fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet that the game was developed by Harry Potter fans.
Fans, oh, definitely.
And that is
Yeah.
the key ingredient. And
Well,
that is what these
Cash,
big companies are missing.
Mhm.
what company, what developer made that game? Is it someone
Warner
we know?
Brothers, bro.
Warner Brothers directly?
Yeah, Warner Brothers
Was
games. Same guys
okay.
that brought us Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Same guys that
Surprised.
brought us Mortal Kombat, and then charge people $15 to buy a fucking
Well, Mortal
fatality.
Kombat is made by NRS, so
No,
that's the
but
developer.
no.
The
And they
publisher is
made
Warner Brothers, though.
Warner Brothers is the publisher. They own
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
NetherRealm. So that's
Yeah, but who's the developer of Hogwarts? That's what I'm asking.
Warner Brothers
Like who? Like okay.
or Wizard World, which one of the two. I don't
Just-
remember.
They have like an internal team.
Yeah, it's a
Of,
team.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense.
So most of these
It's like
games,
Bandai Namco. They didn't
Yeah.
they make Soul Calibur and
There you
Tekken,
go.
but they
Yeah.
gave ArcSys the rights to make DBFZ.
exactly.
Although
There you
it's a
go.
Bandai Namco game.
Yeah,
Namco's the publisher. Arc Systems is the developer on
yeah.
those
On
ones.
DBFZ.
On DBFZ,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Exactly.
I hear like ArcSys doesn't even support DBFC anymore. It's like a back end team for
Well, it's coming out with rollback, so technically they are, but that's it's
No,
not.
I know what Cash is saying. I'm sorry to cut you off, but what Cash is saying, ArcSys developed the game and then gave the product
back
to Bandai Namco.
yeah.
Yes.
And they have
to-
like a skeleton crew running the show.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds like Namco.
It worked
Sorry,
out.
man.
It worked out. 'Cause
I'm salty about Namco for killing Soul Calibur. Salty.
I don't blame you. It's a great
Bro,
game.
I'm so upset, bro. I used to love Soul Calibur, bro.
You see,
All
I
in
miss-
favor
I
of
miss
Soul
that
Calibur
series.
7. Emotes in the chat, please. Emotes in the chat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's rally it. Let's make a hashtag Soul Calibur 7, please.
All right.
Go.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, bro. This is also concerning for me too because Warner Brothers did say their biggest push is to move into the live service space. Like every game, all of their biggest franchises, they want all of their biggest franchises to be a live service game, which is
Let's see.
I
What are-
if it doesn't
what are
serve
Warner
a live
Brothers
service
franchises?
purpose, I don't see why you should. You know what I mean?
What are Warner Brothers franchise? Obviously, Adventure Time, anything on Cartoon Network, really,
Yeah.
and Ninja Turtles. Is that it? No, it's not. That's Nickelodeon. And Scooby Doo, of course. Scooby Doo would probably be a pretty dope live service situation.
I feel like
but,
they're talking about gaming franchises though. So
Yeah.
stuff like your Hogwarts, because I remember them saying like Hogwarts 2 might be a live service game, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Why if it doesn't serve that purpose, why would you make that game live service?
I mean,
Is it
let's
DC
break it down.
Online?
Mhm.
DC
Let's break it
Online,
down.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the goal of live service?
Make money.
Well,
I'd have
yes,
content
but
forever,
it comes at the cost. It comes at the cost of
Mhm.
content. They
Right.
want to make money off us, but we need content.
Right.
So if a live service can extend the longevity of a game, if it can extend the longevity of a game, it makes sense to me.
Mm.
If live service is just put in a game to monetize the low amount of player base that they have currently, it just does not make sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, and who is it that you said last week, Heartless? Oh, Xbox. They said
Mm-hmm.
like we can either take money from the players that already have our stuff, or we could try to find new players. And
Right.
I feel like that's where kind of a lot of these live service games are missing the mark. They're just trying to milk money out of the people that already play the game instead of trying to get new players. And that brings me back to what I said about the story mode slash episodic content. If you kept doing that for the monetization, that would bring back players all the time and get new players to come in and not just little like if I just, not that I can just dance the Macarena with my Fortnite character or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just I
Excellent
f-
point.
yeah, I think that would be that's the course that I feel
Imagine
would save gaming. So
Imagine you get a story game for $40, and every 2 months, every 2 to 3 months, they come out with a new season, quote unquote season, with a battle pass for $15, $20. I know that sounds expensive, but it comes with an extension to the story mode.
yes, please.
That would be so sick. In the end, it would hopefully, if they played it right, they would have a team of developers whose goal is to literally develop new parts of the story. They can keep continuously adding, like season after season. That to me sounds great. Cash, did you
So
catch that?
I
I
think
heard
that's
you.
a great segue to the Elden Ring DLC because kind of what
Ooh,
you're hinting at is essentially what you just described. But there's going to
not the
be a
same
hot take
pricing.
on that. There's going to
There
be a
is a
hot
hot
take
take.
on that.
There
Right.
Yeah.
is.
What do you think, Ash? Are we ready to move into Elden Ring or
I know. I need to. So I need to kind of do my rebuttal on that. Like,
let's
I
go?
don't think
Let's
every
go.
game deserves to be a live service game. Is what I was getting at. Like, if
That's
it
true.
does, so I agree with what Artless is saying. But what I was mainly hinting at is just the fact that a lot of these developers don't really care if it hurts the brand or not, or if it doesn't serve the purpose of being a live service game. They're going to make it a live service game
Because they want money.
because they want the
Yeah.
money. That's what
I
they
feel
want. That's all they care about.
Mortal Kombat's probably been the worst case of this. Instead of giving us Crypt, they gave us Invasions mode. Fuck that
Right.
mode. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Before we
That
Right.
mode is
continue,
on.
guys,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just want to say something. We're getting into the topic of live service gaming right now. That is the question of the day.
Mhm.
Cash, guys, look at the pin message. There's a Discord link. If you click that and then go into the waiting room voice chat, you guys can be pulled in and your voices can be heard. I see that Nightmare James has an opinion on this. If anyone has an opinion on this, get into the Discord. If you Cash will keep an eye out and see if
Yeah.
there's people in the waiting room. If there's somebody in the waiting room, he will give you a chance to voice your opinion.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when will we be taking those questions, Cash?
Well,
What,
we're
like five,
talking
ten
about live
minutes?
service.
Lesser?
We're
We're
talking
talking
Yeah.
about
about
live
live
service
service
game.
right now. So once we
Okay.
get
It
to
makes
that
sense.
question, yeah, we could probably start pulling people in at this point, or
Gotcha.
in like the next few minutes, we could
Just
start
keep
pulling
in
people
mind
in.
what Heartless's comments were about DLC content, and then
Mm-hmm.
when we start talking about Elden Ring, keeping that in mind, chat.
Right. Um. What were we saying again?
We can,
Lost
we
my
can
train of
actually
thought.
talk about the Elder.
Elden
Oh,
Ring.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
lost my train of
we're on
thought.
the sorry, we're on the live service, so let's keep going. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Lost my train
Um,
Well,
of thought though. What was I saying?
you were saying how not all games need to be live
Yeah,
service,
not all games
and
need to. Not all games should be live service. Like for example, I personally think that Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League should not have been a live service game. It doesn't. It didn't serve that purpose.
what do
I
They
you get in the?
wanted
What do you
to.
get in the?
Hmm?
can I expand on what you're saying,
Yes.
Cash? I
Go
think
ahead.
instead of all games being live service, I think not all franchises need to be live
Live
service.
service.
And
Agreed.
I feel like that's where we're going.
Hmm.
They're pushing all franchises
Every
to have
franchise
this
is
live
looking for a
service.
way to get into the live
Yeah.
service market.
Yeah, because they want
Yeah.
to keep that franchise alive.
So
So
they'll
yeah.
develop a bad product like Suicide Squad
Hmm.
because
To
they
keep
just
it.
want a game in the live service
Well, what they're
market.
doing essentially is they're
It's a
taking the
gamble.
fans of a certain thing and they're like, okay, we're gonna get money out of you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it just, I don't, it
Mm-hmm.
just feels not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
I'm
a
a
good
fan
point.
of it because I like it,
Hmm.
because of years prior experiences, not because I get to play it forever, you know?
That's a good point. And here's a caveat to that, right? I feel like what it is also, they're making a game like Suicide Squad Killer Justice League. We were expecting more of, akin to more of the Batman games. That's not what we got. And I think now this game is depending on people who would more likely play a live service game, and not everybody who was a fan of that franchise or a Suicide Squad game are necessarily a fan of live service games, and that's
Yeah.
where this whole shit is happening right now.
And here's my issue also with
Hmm.
WB is I feel like they probably came up with this idea for Suicide Squad game when that Suicide Squad movie came out, that newer one.
Hmm.
And then, Suicide Squad was popping off. People were talking about the movie and it was cool, you know? And so we're years from that now. And so instead of recorrecting and maybe just taking the idea of what Suicide was and maybe making it something else, like let's just say Ninja Turtles or Teen Titans or something else,
Ye-
and that may have kind of been more well
I
received,
think what happened was, though, it was probably too late for them to change trajectory because the game was in
Maybe.
development for such a long time. Because I heard
I'm
this game has been in development like a year after the last Arkham game. That's a very long time. I think
probably
seven
almost 10
seven
years
years,
ago now.
10
Yeah.
years.
Really?
Yeah. So
Some
this game
They
has
have
been.
they have been.
yeah,
Mm, yeah.
PlayStation 4 days. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
confused, guys. I'm confused. They have been developing Suicide Squad
Yeah.
for 7 years.
Yes.
It feels like they could have changed the course if they really wanted to. But
I feel like
if they would have made
I also feel like the studio tampered with all of this. They kind of
well,
I feel like they forced them into making this a live service game because of their whole push into live service, which is why
let's
I thought.
analyze.
Hmm?
Go
This is
ahead. Go
why I
ahead.
thought
Finish your statement.
this is why I think the developers, the founders of Rocksteady left the studio because they felt like their vision of what this game should have been, they weren't getting the chance to do that. So they left.
Let's analyze Warner Brothers as a whole company. Like,
Hmm.
look at the movies they've canceled recently.
Right.
Batgirl and all these other movies, fully done movies,
Fully done movie.
and then they're just like, screw it, we're just not going to even release it.
But
You
that's a
guys
So
know
tax
like,
why?
that was a
they,
tax write off, bro. Batgirl was a tax write off.
you know,
Like, and that's
I
why
don't
they
know.
didn't
Just
want.
Fatigue.
That's why they didn't
if
want it to see the light of day, because had that happened, they couldn't put it on their tax return to
I'm just
file it
saying,
as a
if they
loss.
really, really wanted to, they could have changed course. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be,
I think Jerem
you
is saying
know,
if a company can make a whole movie and throw it away,
Yeah.
then another company can change the course.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And plus,
I thought they
like
should have
when they
canceled
come
it.
up with new skins for a game, what are you essentially doing? You're taking an existing model and making it look different. So
Right.
if they can do that, I can pay for that to happen.
Mhm.
Why can't they just
I
do
think they
that?
tried to gut this game as much as they could because I heard this game actually was supposed to have a loot box, and they took that out. They had a
They keep
lot of other monetization features within this game, and out because of the outcry of fans or like saying like they wouldn't play this game if it's gonna be like that kind of live service game. They changed up a lot, which is why they did a lot of PR like a month before the game came out. And like, oh,
okay.
this entire thing is gonna be free. You're not gonna be paying for no skins, which is not actually 100% true because they have skins in the store that you can buy
So,
right
so what
now.
do you get in the
Look,
live serviceness of?
the last comment I'll say before we get into the waiting room. Sorry, Heartless. It was be
Mhm, you're good. You're
like
good. You're good.
think if Deadshot
Mm-hmm.
would have been Cyborg instead. How much like probably better that would have been received and how cooler, I
Right.
don't know. It just feels like people have been asking for Teen Titans game and no one was asking for Suicide Squad. So,
No. I
you know
feel
what
like
I'm
they
saying?
thought
It just
Suicide
feels
Squad would have gotten more popular than it actually did, and that's what they were banking on to kind of
yeah.
like push this game to the
Yeah.
forefront.
They're just and WB is asking all the wrong questions.
Right.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? And
who are they doing
they
these
give
surveys with is what I want to know. Like,
yeah,
who's coming up with these ideas?
yeah.
This is that
And
virtue signaling. It's when they
Yeah.
see they see 7 years ago that the world is becoming a social justice media. Like
Hmm.
this is where like our youth is spending its time. The youth wants to let people know that they are social justice warriors. They want to let people know that they're woke. They have open minds. They have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the last decade, companies thought that this was going to be the audience that they need to satisfy if they want to be on the right side of history. And
Right.
being on the right side of history will get them the most money because we ultimately believe that the good people will prevail. But in reality, the people are just getting fatigued of being having the same ideas being shoved down our throats over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even
Like,
people
yeah,
who are for
exactly.
the cause are just over it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels, yeah, I just don't understand the way Warner Brothers does. I
Yeah.
why they make their decisions, who's making their decisions, I just don't get it, you
Don't
know?
forget the waiting room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
see.
let's
We got one person in the waiting room right now. We could keep going. The question of the day was, are live service games the future or is it killing the games industry? Heartless has a different point. I have a different point. I think Heartless and Germ kind of on the same. Um.
I guess
My
I'll
thing
I'll
is,
lead I'll 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 lead off on that real quick. Well, I feel we kind of been leaning into it a little bit. I
Mm-hmm.
think live service games are really disrespecting the franchises that they're being put into. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just not, you know, a lot of the ones they're doing this, like Suicide Squad and over, these Street Fighter and all these different ones, these characters have legacy.
Right.
And the live service is disrespecting the legacy of those characters and it just making people that love them hate the direction, hate everything about the game. It just feels like they're betraying the iconicness of why I
Right.
would want to like that in the first place. You know, and so from that aspect, live service is whack. But from the serve of the industry itself, we've been talking about that a bunch. Live service needs to stick between cosmetics and episodic adventures. And
Mm-hmm.
outside anything else beyond that, no, thank you. I'll pass. But go ahead, Nick, guys.
One more thing. I'll touch just on the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League thing one more time as well. So this game's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We've killed the entire Justice League, and at this point, but we're still playing the game. Who are we killing now?
it's a good question.
You
The
know, and
zombies, the
another thing,
zombies of the Justice League.
WB, sorry, they've been disrespecting our boy Superman, fucking Injustice,
Right.
and the,
I didn't mind
and then
Superman in
this game.
Injustice though. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like
He
the
was he
whole.
was a dope story, but
Yeah.
still, it's very disrespectful to the character of Superman.
Right.
Just what he represents.
If
Hmm.
it's a dope story, though, I can live with that. I
Yeah.
don't think that these developers are forced to follow exact storylines from old comic books. If you give
No,
us a dope story, but if you deviate from the story and then you give us a character who is not that character, it's
bro.
like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. If you give us okay, Tobey Maguire is a if you read the comic books, he is a ladies' man. He has swag, he has pizzazz, he knows how to joke. He's not shy. Like
Hmm.
if you look at the first Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire, they make him look like
You,
a shy Spider-Man. That's not who Spider-Man is. I don't mind it because the movies were okay and I was a kid back then. But
right.
imagine if they made Spider-Man, and I hate to say this word again, gay. And I
Oh,
don't
they
have an issue
can't.
with
So
that.
apparently, it's something in the clause with Sony. It's speculated that they have. It's called. I think it's called like an archetype clause, right? Where
You
Sony cannot deviate from making
who
Spider-Man
he's
that.
supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah, they can't change that. So if they do that, Disney can actually prevent them from putting out that movie. Not Disney. Well, yeah, well, Disney, technically Disney. But Marvel can prevent them from putting out that movie, which is why we've been seeing that they're kind of diverting attention from Peter and putting it more on Miles and other
Yeah.
characters because that's the only characters they can really like play with.
And to be
And
honest,
yeah,
Miles is a doper Spider-Man. Like the
yeah,
Peter
So,
Parker story is just so played out over
I'm so
decades and
sorry. I'm
decades,
sorry.
but
You said Miles
Miles
is a
is
doper Spider-Man?
he's hella dope. He's so cool, you know?
Miles is
Like,
a Spider-Man. That's it. He's not a
yeah, that's what I'm
doper
saying.
Spider-Man. No, he's not a
He's
doper
he's
Spider. He's
cool.
just a Spider-Man.
He's cool, man. He like Putting
Don't get me
words in
wrong.
my mouth,
I like
artist.
the way he swings in the new Spider-Man game.
He's so
Don't get me wrong.
cool.
He's
Yeah.
swag. He's swag.
He has
But
the
He's
swagger
Peter
of
got
a
the
black
Parker.
what is
teen.
it?
That he has the
The
swagger of a
swagger of a
black
black
teen. That's
HQ.
exactly what they said
Yeah.
in the fucking tagline of Spider-Man, the first Miles
Yeah.
Morales Spider-Man. He has the swagger of a black teen.
The exaggerated swagger,
The
But
exaggerated
something like
swagger
that.
of a
Yeah.
he will
black
never.
teen.
He will never compete with Peter Parker though. He never will compete with Peter Parker
And I
though.
don't know, like
He's just a
I love the
different style of
character
Spider-Man.
for
That's
two
how I
different
look at
reasons.
Miles. I look at Miles as just like a different style of
I
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I
But
do think it's incredible.
let's not leave the waiting room waiting too long. So
Yeah.
let's don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Do that. Do
We
that.
are
Do that. Do
gonna
that. Do
we're
that.
gonna pull that. Who is in the waiting room
It's James.
currently?
It's
Is
James.
James? All right, we're gonna
James.
pull James in the
Nightmare
waiting
James.
room.
And
Nightmare
then
James.
Solo, your question that you put in the chat, if you want to hop in the waiting room and put the link that's pinned, we'll be able to
It
get to your question.
relates. It
It
relates because
relates. You can hop in. So if you wanna be a part of the conversation, just hop in the waiting room of this Discord. It's pinned. It's the pinned comment.
Any other hot takes about live service before we adjust that question, or are we just gonna just get right into it?
well, let's give him
I
the
think
floor and
I
see what
think
he
we
has to
both
say.
I think we've made kind of our positions pretty clear about live
Pretty
service
much.
overall. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Pretty much.
yeah, yeah. I think not every game needs to be
Let's
live
debate.
service.
James has a debate, so let's debate.
Yeah, let's
Go.
hear what
He-
James has to say. James, welcome in.
Wel- Welcome in.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. Good. What live
Well,
service games are you playing right now?
Street Fighter 6 and Pokemon Go.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. I didn't
Well,
even think about
I want
Pokemon
to
Go.
get. Well, I'm going to. I think you covered most of it very well, but I want to cover something that you didn't cover very much was developers, developers and their lives and the fact of developing and how much it takes on them as they're developing this and they get tired out and
Right.
Sorry, it kind of cut out there for a
No, no,
second.
I think he was just
Did,
pausing. I think we
oh,
got
okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, just to recap, you were saying the how much it takes for them to make the games, or how much
I'll
money?
get more specific. He when
money
we
and money and manpower and things like that. That for a single developer, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
what he's saying is when I mentioned the point of if they gave us new parts of the story every 3 months, remember when we said that? He said that's pretty much impossible on developers. And my only rebuttal to that is if Sony can drop $300 million to make Spider-Man 3, then I think it's more about how are developers allocating their money rather than can developers afford to do these things.
Well, in the case of Spider-Man, I feel like I'm sorry, but I don't need 80 costumes for Spider-Man. I don't, So, you know, like they that could have saved hell of money right there,
I don't.
animating all
You think the
that.
Yeah,
So
costumes
Spider
really
Man
caught
is an
that?
unusual
I'm
case,
just
but
saying, I don't need
we'll
it.
talk Street Fighter 6,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
where maybe you have like one person per character,
Right.
and if there's only one person doing all the characters, they're going to get overloaded.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying manpower overall is too they
And
need more
and and,
manpower to make the content?
and most small companies don't have the money to afford more manpower or whatever.
But
And at that point,
if the game goes live
I
service,
So
yes.
just a question to expand on what you're saying. Are you what would you consider a small developer, a small company? Because overall, it feels most games are made by bigger publishers. So, what would you think is a smaller one?
I don't know where Capcom stands these days. Niantic's certainly big, Nintendo's certainly big, but Capcom may not be the biggest company today.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I,
I think they're
I'm going to
reasonable.
respectfully disagree with you on
they're not
that,
as
and
big as people think. They're
I'm going
not
to
as
say
big as
why.
people
Yeah,
think.
Capcom's not as big as say, like a Nintendo,
Mhm.
but Capcom ain't no drop in the bucket.
They're not, but Stardew Valley
Fair.
outsold every single Street Fighter
Resident
game.
Evil alone is one
Mm.
of the highest selling franchises ever in gaming history. And a Monster Hunter and those kind of these are constant board chopping games. So sure, Street Fighter may not be a chart topper, But overall, like Resident Evil carries. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
150 million copies of Resident
Yeah.
Evil
See
has
what
been
I mean?
sold.
Mhm.
That's
Exactly.
incredible.
So I mean,
How
Capcom ain't
much?
no small developer, ain't no
150
small
million
publisher.
copies.
Okay,
God
so
damn.
I made a mistake. What about some of the smaller fucking companies like ArcSys and maybe
Or Arc
Rivals of Ether Company and them who have to meet these schedules?
My thing personally is if a game goes live service and if the live service product is actually successful and is gaining money,
Mhm.
that money I would prefer it to be allocated into giving me more in-game content rather than skills. I mean, than skins. That's what I would like. If I bought a game for $40 and every 3 months I could pay $20 and I get another 4 missions, maybe 2 skins, 4 missions. It's a co-op game and we can. That to me sounds amazing. In I don't know how you guys feel about it, but look, Elden Ring is doing just that. They released the main game.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a good way to segue into
I
the
feel
We
the
could
I
question of the
definitely.
feel
day?
Yeah, we definitely could.
uh, unless if
Okay,
there's any
I'm gonna hang up and let you continue now. All right.
um,
All
Thank
the
you
right.
the
so
last
much,
comment
James.
on what
Thank you for
thank you
coming
for your
in.
question, by the way. To fully address what you were saying, I feel yes, it would be super taxing on developers, but to lean into what Heartless's point was, I feel, yeah, the funds would be better allocated to giving us more content to play for more hours so that we could, enjoy the game longer. And if we enjoy the game longer, the more likely we are to buy that skin, you know?
And to
So,
clarify,
Mhm.
we're talking kind of about non-PvP live service games at this point.
mhm.
Yeah.
In PvP, I would like my live service money spending to only give me cosmetics. But in a game that has a story mode, I would really like for that story mode to get expanded upon every once in a while.
Yeah.
But before we continue, shout out to Nightmare James for hopping in here and giving us that question. That was a good question. Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Something that we had never really thought of before. Like the working man, in the gaming industry. So
Right.
yeah, that was a great question. So yeah, so thank you very much.
Mm.
It's a great to not forget that there are actually people that make these
That's
games.
true.
And
That's true.
the last point that I would want to bring up is you were kind of hinting at it, Nightmare James, that getting the stuff out there really quickly. Like, what's the rush? If we're sitting there enjoying a game, take the time to make the content.
I
Take
did
as
I
long
did
as it
say every three
takes to
months
make the
though.
content. No, I'm just saying, just take the time to make the content and put it out there,
But the
and
problem
we will
is,
pay for it.
yeah, but
What's the rush?
the problem with that is it's not usually the developers that's the problem, it's the publisher. The
It
publisher
is. It
Yeah,
puts
is.
they put
facts.
them on a
That's facts.
timeline and they need to get it out by that specific time, which is
A
where
lot of
crunch
times
comes in.
a lot of times when
That's
games are
facts.
missing things,
Mhm.
blame the publishers, not the developers.
Not the
Yeah,
developers.
100%, hundred
'Cause I'm
percent.
pretty sure
Like,
if the developers
look at
could.
Street Fighter 5. Look at
Mhm.
Street Fighter 5. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was an
Yeah,
awful start for a game,
exactly.
you know?
Yo,
They
it got
pushed
so.
that game out just
Mhm.
to hit an esports deadline.
Wow.
That's unacceptable.
Mhm.
Unacceptable. They wanted to
Wow.
get it out there so that it would be for the cutoff for Evo or whatever year it came out.
Oh, wow.
And that was bad.
They
That was
apologized
bad.
for that recently. They actually did
Yeah, and
apologize for
overall
that.
the game saved itself, but it literally took 7 years to do that, and that's a long time,
A
you
Street
know?
Fighter
Mhm.
IP is so strong. It's kind of like the game could be bad, and then when they release a new game, the IP will save it
In
and
my
give.
opinion, it is one of the strongest IPs. It is
It is.
literally it's like Disney level iconic, you know?
I want to
Like
say
right up
Disney,
there
but
with
it's up
Nintendo.
there. It's up there. It
Yeah,
really is up
right up
there.
there. Right up there with Nintendo, right up there, you know? So,
So, Cash, we're gonna bring up the Elden Ring. Okay, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
all right,
I'm hearing
moving
word from
in. We're
Cash on
seg
the other end.
we're segueing Heartless. We're
Well,
segueing.
it's not even really that much of a segue because
Yeah.
if you think about it, Elden Ring is doing kind of what we said.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk about what Elden Ring is doing, for in case someone that doesn't know. Um,
Yeah,
uh, Elden Ring just announced its DLC. It had a trailer. It's coming out soon here,
June
and
27th.
yeah, June 27th, middle of summer. After waiting almost 2 years for this to come out, they just announced a trailer for it. According to the developers, it says it's going to include 10 bosses. It's going to be probably about 20 hours worth of gameplay, and it's going to be about a 10% of what the existing map is. And the asking price that they're putting out there is 40 $39.99 or $49.99 for
It's
like a more
$49.99,
premium version.
I think.
Yeah. So there's $39.99, which is like the basic, and then there's like a more premium one, which is $49.99, so $50. So is that worth it? It seems like a little bit of a high price, but based upon what we've already talked about, and we've been asking the publishers to do this,
Mm-hmm.
is $50 worth paying for what we've been asking for the last 2 hours. So,
I,
well, let's debates begin.
want me to break it down?
Go ahead.
Let's go.
If I'm not mistaken, Elden Ring in its current form has 200 plus bosses.
Okay.
Please, somebody double check that. While I'm talking, I'll even double check that. Elden Ring has 200 plus bosses, and then with this new DLC, we get a 10% map increase. It has 238 bosses. So that means if you get 10 more bosses, you're roughly getting 4 point something percent more addition to the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the map is a 10% increase in map size. So in total, to get all of this, the original game plus this, you're spending $110, right?
Yeah.
That is if
50.
you didn't get the premium,
That's if
edition
you
when it
didn't
came
get the
out. Yeah.
premium.
You're probably
So
let's just say under $200. Let's just say,
okay,
you know.
you get under $200, but let's just
Yeah.
stick with the base edition. If you,
Right.
Yeah.
to get both the base edition of the DLC and the game, you're spending $110. 50 of that $110 is literally for 4% of the content. So 40% of the total price you pay for the whole Elden Ring plus its DLC,
Mm-hmm.
40% of that money you pay is for only 10% of its content. Granted, I'm buying it. I'm
Yeah.
buying it. I'm gonna play it. Every second of it. Every second of it.
Right.
That's how I
I
feel
look,
about it.
I look, yeah. I kind of repeated what you're saying. I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I'll definitely buy it when it goes on sale.
How many new
The
bosses? I think it's like 10 new bosses,
10,
right?
10, yeah, 10 new
Which is
bosses.
that's only
Supposedly,
4%.
and supposedly they're all supposed to be like hard, like that Melania or whatever her name is. They're supposed to be
No
like hard,
way.
like those, all 10 of them. That's what the trailer said. That's what
Okay, you know what?
people have
That
been
makes a
saying.
lot more sense
So,
because when they count the
um,
238 bosses, that includes the little mini bosses.
I
But that's
feel
cool.
there's one element
Mm.
that you may have overlooked, Heartless,
What's
on
that?
that is
What's that?
whatever the little extra, let's say give them the 10% extra on the map and whatever, weapons or whatever we find there, we can use it on 100% of the map.
That's
So,
true.
so essentially we're getting more content that we can use throughout the whole game. So I kind of like it from that perspective, but yeah, I
Yes,
think
sir.
$50 might be a little steep for that. But again,
Okay.
having not played it, it's hard to really say. Maybe that 50, maybe we'll play the game and be like, they could have easily played a new game out of this and they could have charged us $80.
Yeah.
But
Because you know
That
what?
that
We're looking at
echoes
numbers too. We're looking at numbers
yeah.
too. So we're saying, oh,
And I
it's
also
just
feel
10%, but that 10%
I,
might feel like a whole new game.
I
that
also
that
feel
echoes James's
uh,
statement though.
yeah, I also feel
Mm.
part of the gripes here on that is it took 2 years for this to come out.
But
It's a long
that
time.
echoes James's statement
This is the
though. It
first
takes
DLC for
Mm-hmm.
2 years. Yeah, it brings up to James said it took them that long to make, but this has always been kind of Soul's thing. It takes them a long time to come out with content. If
Mm-hmm.
you remember, I think it was Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 3, they came up with those DLCs, but you had to wait a while. They didn't just come out with them like that. It took a while.
maybe
So
maybe
this
we're
seems
underestimating how long it takes to make. I
yeah,
I was blown away
Probably.
when y'all said that Suicide Squad has been in development for 7 years. I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But
crazy.
maybe this could be one of those things too, where if you look at, like the first couple of
You
Souls
want,
games, like this is not really their thing is to put out lots of DLC for their games. They maybe put a chapter here or two, but they
mm-hmm.
put up a whole package. You play it, you enjoy it, you speed run it, you enjoy, you just have a great time with it. And then it's immediately on to the next project. And maybe that was one of those things where maybe Namco said like, "Hey, Elden Ring popped off so hard that we need more." And
Right.
then they're like, "Okay, so now they had to start, from
Right.
scratch, and it took 2 years." It's
Yeah,
possible
I
that
agree.
happened.
Yeah, I agree with Heartless. It definitely it depends because we don't we're I think we're underestimating how long it takes for a game to be developed or
Yeah,
DLC of
fully
this
developed to
magnitude.
a playable product.
10 bosses, bro. Let's not forget that. 10 bosses. So I think that alone, the character designs and all of that for those bosses probably was what took most of the time.
We get to fight Mikola as well in the DLC.
Yeah. I feel $50 might be a little steep, but
Mhm.
again, not having played it, it's hard to really
Elden Ring
measure
is
it
an amazing
properly.
game, bro. It is
Yeah,
an
but
amazing game.
the
Mhm.
game as a whole, it could totally be worth it. And honestly, if there's any franchise or if there's any developer that has earned the right to take our money, it's FromSoft. You know, like when have they missed? They have not missed on any of their games, you
Right.
know? So,
This is
you
a
know,
totally unrelated question, by the way. How long do you guys think Skull and Bones was in development for?
uh well, not before Black Flag. So, Black Flag came out what, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 8 years.
No, 10.
Bella,
10
who's in the chat
years.
here,
Skull and Bones.
she was a early person that got
She
to
was saying she
test the
plays it.
game.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
It came out 10 years. It's been in development for 10 years. The
So
first
that's
the
pretty
first
much right
announcement
after.
trailer, the first announcement trailer for this game was 7 years ago. The game just
Yeah.
came out 2 weeks ago. I was a tester.
Again,
Yeah.
the concept of that game, again, it brings us back to where we originally started with. Who is this marketed to? I mean,
That's
it
the
makes
thing. I
sense
have a hard time
why.
like recommending this game
Yeah.
because I don't know who plays who will play a game like this. Who? I don't know.
I don't know. It just feels like something
Do
I'd play on
you
my
still play
phone,
it?
but not on a console. I
I
just don't
don't.
get it, you know?
I told you what I've been playing. Hogwarts
Yeah.
Legacy.
That's why I asked.
I don't get
That's
it.
why I
And
I'm
asked.
yeah, it really this feels like a Switch entry. It doesn't feel like a console entry game.
at
I don't get
first,
it.
so when I first started playing it, it felt more like a more mature version of Sea of Thieves. I was like, okay, I could see this. I could kind of understand why people would say this. It feels like that. But after a while, it didn't have enough to hold my attention, and that's why I stopped playing. My most favorite part of that game is to upgrade my ship. But
Yeah, see?
everything
And
else, the grind to like getting the
how many
parts
hours did you do
And
that?
there's no pals. There's no pals. Go get the
and
parts for you. So, and like,
Yeah.
how can I
Yeah,
play a game?
I did
How
like
can I play a
10,
survivor
11
game
hours. I played for like 10, 11 hours
with no pals?
Yeah,
with no
I mean,
pals.
how am I, why would I play
No
that when
pals.
I could go spread democracy to some alien
Right?
planet where there's bugs taking
And
over the
what I
world,
loved about the game is you can actually meet actual players throughout the world. Like I docked my ship and I was walking
Can
in
I
like
can I catch them?
no, you can't.
Can I put some decals all over the side of my pirate ship, you know?
No.
Can I
No,
put
well,
stickers all
no,
over that?
no, but you can get like some cool like
Question:
yeah.
What is
How would you feel if there
Mhm.
was pride flag decals? Pride, no, just a pride flag in
like the
Sea of
sail?
Thieves.
A
It
No,
sail?
wouldn't make
yeah, the
sense.
sale.
I
It
mean,
wouldn't make sense.
story-wise it wouldn't make sense because that's
They didn't
when
exist back then.
it didn't
It
exist
didn't.
back then, so it
It
wouldn't
didn't
make
exist
sense.
back then. I think that's the point, though. We're getting at.
I know exactly what you're getting at. Like,
We're getting towards that point in games. It's
mhm.
like,
Yeah, it's almost like suspending disbelief of a lot of stuff.
No,
Just yeah,
yeah.
it's just man,
I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
It's a really curious game to take that long to develop,
Develop.
you
I feel
know?
like there was a lot that were supposed to be in the game, and they ended up gutting it because they felt like it was too much. That's just me personally. They
Mm.
gut a bunch of stuff because a lot of it just doesn't seem intentional. It doesn't seem like this is what they expected the game to be. You can't tell me this is what you want. You said
It
this
just
game was going to be a AAA game. This does not feel like a AAA game.
it boggles my mind to make a whole game out of a mini game from another game.
Right.
Outside of
Exactly.
racing games, when does this happen?
That's
You
what
know, out
Counter Strike is, though.
Well,
yeah.
For those who don't know,
yeah.
Counter Strike existed as a mod in another game that was just so
Oh,
wildly
really?
successful.
I didn't
Yes,
know
it was
that.
so wildly successful that they turned it into its own game. And Counter Strike, I'm pretty sure, is the highest played game on Steam. I mean, it was at one point.
It's
It
one of the
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the biggest esports games in the world,
Yeah,
like in
it is.
general. It's like
Definitely
in the
is.
top 3 or 4 best like most profitable
Of
For
all
and
sure.
time,
most
it's up
player,
there.
yeah, of all
Yeah.
time and still today. Not that hasn't gone
And
away.
they just remade the game. They literally, it was so good. They literally remade the game, and the whole point
Called
of
it
the
Counter
remake was
Strike
to
2.
try to keep it as similar to the previous game as they possibly could.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the top 3, I might be getting them in the order wrong, but it's like Dota 2 and
StarCraft.
CS:GO are like I don't know, StarCraft isn't the top, but yeah, like the top three, two of the top three are I guarantee you are Dota and CS:GO,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
CS:GO is
Guaranteed.
definitely one of the top ones.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just crazy, right?
Yeah, man. Right? It's just it was very disappointing because I wanted to like the game, and I had a lot more expectation, and it didn't meet any of them. Any of them.
So the game that I'm looking it up now, the game that Counter Strike was a mod for was Half Life.
Are you
Oh yeah,
You're lying.
I
I'm
love
not
Really?
Half-Life.
lying. It originated as a mod for Half Life.
How did I
Yeah,
not know
where's my
that?
Half-Life? Where's my Half-Life 3, Valve? Like, what the hell? Talk about stories being
Right.
left, you know? What
How
the
did I not
hell?
Face,
know
I
that?
just looked it up. I just looked it up, Face. Isn't that
That's crazy.
crazy?
You know,
That's
like Half-Life
crazy.
3, it's literally been what,
No, but you know
25
what?
years been on cliffhanger,
Since
you
Heartless
know?
said it though, I can actually see it now because the mechanics do look like Half Life.
It's made by Valve, I think, right? So yeah, it makes sense that they would do that.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
oh yeah.
Wow.
Valve, by the way, I'm pretty positive the mod got so popular. Valve was like, no, 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 no. We're gonna retake this idea from you and make it. Chat,
Mm.
always fact check me. Oh, I talk out my ass, but I'm pretty positive. I'm
It
pretty
makes sense.
positive that's the way it went.
I do know that CS is made by Valve, so if it was to be a mod of Half-Life 2, it would totally make sense.
No, no,
Yeah.
I have the Google up. It's right here.
Yeah.
I got the Google up, man.
Fact check Google. Fact check Google. Who fact checks
Trying.
Google,
I'm
by the
trying
way?
to
We
not
all
just
Google things to get
Who
facts, but who
facts checked
fact
the
checks
fact
Google?
checker?
You know?
now. Google's sick because you could look up something like a piece of evidence for one argument, and you'll find it, and then
Mhm.
you'll find the exact opposite piece of evidence for the same argument, and
Mhm.
you'll find proof backing both things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Just don't use Wikipedia. That stuff's trash. Public service announcement there.
Mhm.
Um.
Yeah, because regular people can alter
Mhm.
the wiki.
Yep. Okay. So, are we? Is that? Are we pretty? Did we? Does that conclude Elden Ring, or do we have more
Yeah,
takes on that?
we're done. We're
Gosh, we
pretty
didn't
much
really.
done.
Gosh, did we get? I don't know if we
I
got
think
your opinion on
my
it.
back is hurting. We
Yeah.
saying our goodbyes
Yeah,
soon.
yeah, we pretty much did a lot, bro. Because we went through a lot during this podcast. Yo, this was
And it
actually a
felt
lot of fun.
faster.
It felt
It felt
faster.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
It felt natural, very
Mm-hmm.
natural.
Yeah,
We're
Mm-hmm.
I
cutting each
really
other. We're
like
cutting each other
the
off less.
live question thing. I would encourage you guys if you guys want to keep us doing that. Let us know feedback on it. We would
Yeah,
love to keep doing it. If you guys have questions or maybe you want to bring up a topic that we can discuss in future podcasts, feel free to do so at the Twitter or at the in the Discord.
yeah.
There's a couple more items on our chart today, like the
I
Project
wanted to.
Dell. We could push
Yeah,
that to next
We
time.
can
We
move that
push
all to
that to
next week.
let's
yeah,
push that to next week.
We don't
And
have to
then
lose
there's
anything.
yeah.
Xbox's lineup of
We just let's just touch on the
yeah,
Xbox thing real quick, so because we
yeah.
don't have to talk about it next
I'm
week,
pulling it up right now.
or we can wait because I actually do it. We do have a special announcement for next
I
week.
would say let's wait because
Yeah,
maybe Xbox will come out with more announcements next week.
right.
Yeah, I would say let's wait. Let's bring it up next. Bring
Can
it
I
up
do the
next week.
fanatical again?
Oh yeah,
Let's
for
go.
sure.
Can I do the shout out to the X Element?
Yes,
Of
sure.
course, go for
All
it.
right,
This is going to be a
chat.
tradition in the podcast.
Right.
Chat, listen, I don't know if we're going to be offline in a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but I don't want to forget this, so I'm going to let you guys know. First of all, most important, shout out to the affiliate links, but most important is our sponsors over at X Element. Shout out to Germ and the people over there. They really hook us up. They really take care of us. They really believe in the podcast and they want to see it grow. So thanks to them, you guys will be seeing clips and stuff of the podcast on social medias, Cash's social media, the KXI social medias, everywhere in between. And the podcast is on every streaming service you can get. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Y'all know the vibes. Shout out to Cash. Can't forget that. He's putting all this together for us. All the stuff you guys see us talk about, he puts it together in a folder. And Jeremy and I, we study it throughout the week so we can come here and try to be super informed. We're doing the best we can, and week after week, we will get better. But let's not forget these affiliate links. Let me get my radio voice going on for these things. Listen, guys. I'm just kidding. Shout out to the affiliate fanatical.
Before you go into that, Heartless. Shout out to the Heartless. Like he is
Right.
the person that brings us all together. It wasn't for Heartless, the idea of a podcast would have never came together. So shout out to the Heartless.
Actually,
Drop him the
ignorance who was
follow.
pushing me, and then
Shout out
Cash mentioned it.
drop him the follow. I'm sure he'll be streaming here probably in about an hour, maybe 2 hours. Check him out. Check his channel out. You'll have a good time. If
That's what's
you're,
up.
If you have some kind of feet phobia, stay away from his channel because it's all over there. It's
Oh,
all
you get
your jury's feet will be all over that channel. So,
right.
So,
anyway, go.
um,
Sorry, Harlan. Let's go ahead.
shout out to the lurkers. We have 17 people in here. Shout out to the people who engage in
Shout out to
chat.
everybody. Shout out to
Shout out to
everybody.
everybody. Cash is gonna have the podcast posted on the YouTubes and the full edition, so you guys can watch that and whatnot.
This one's
Now,
definitely getting edited, guys. I'm gonna let you guys know that
a
because
lot of
we were
editing, a
bugging.
lot bugging.
Good luck.
But so we got the 2 affiliate links. One over at Fanatical. Fanatical is the #1 destination for over 1 million gamers, with over 4,500 officially licensed game keys available from 750 plus developers, including Sega, Warner Bros., Ubisoft, Bethesda, and many more, and a whole host of innovative indie developers. Please check them out. I'm putting the link right now. And if you guys purchase from them, it goes to
Directly to our
we get a little
podcast.
cut of that. Yeah, we get a little cut of that, and we don't even want the money. We reinvest it into growing this, so we have a better product for everybody here. It's literally not about us; it's about the community, and we're trying to grow that. The next affiliate link is Origin PC. They are an award-winning company that builds custom PCs for gamers and professionals alike. They do it big there, and they don't just have PCs, but they have peripherals. I did not mess up a single word in all of that.
None of
And
that,
here,
bro.
There
and
you go,
here's the
Harlan. Slam
link.
dunk.
And here's the link. Everybody enjoy. Cash, take it out from here.
All right, y'all. So
Before you do your outro,
go ahead.
Harlan, before you do your outro, Scott, I just want to put a shout out to all the links that are going to be in of this podcast. To our, we're going to be doing a shout out announcement. Don't miss another live recording. There's going to be a link to all our Twitters. We're going to be posting when we're going live on those Twitters in that Discord, so you won't miss another future live recording. So we're available. Just want to throw that out there before you do your outro, Crash. Go
Oh
ahead.
no. We also forgot one more thing. Germ, this is one actually for you though. The game's on sale this week.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
We got a bunch of them on sale right
Dude,
now.
you have a lot. I'm not gonna go over all
Oh,
these, but
I forgot about that. No, we need to go through all of these because people need to see this, especially the Elden Ring. So we actually have an Elden Ring link for you guys. If you click on this Elden Ring link, I don't know if you looked at it, Germs. So hold up. Let me
okay.
tell you.
That I overlooked the Elden Ring. I overlooked the
Yes.
Elden Ring.
So you get
Okay, yeah, I see
using
right there.
our link, you get 10% off the new
Okay,
Elden Ring DLC. I'm gonna say
there
that
you go.
again. I'm gonna say it again. By clicking on our affiliate link, you get 10% off the latest Elden Ring DLC. No
There you
say.
go. Yeah,
Jeremy.
drop that link right there, right
Yeah.
there in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so there's if you click on any of the links that they're gonna be linked in this podcast episode, you'll be able to get a discount on all these games. There's a couple of real heavy hitters. As a shout out to Capcom, that's a Devil May Cry Deluxe Edition that includes the Virgil DLC. Um, in there. There's a Remnant, which is a really cool sort of Souls, but with guns kind of game. I
Mm-hmm.
like that one. And then we were talking about Pacific Drive earlier. We have a link right here at the Humble to get you a discount on that. And then the shout out, to the spread. We ain't spreading democracy in this game, but we have Far Cry 6. If you're into slaughtering animals and praying to cults and doing all that kind of weird stuff they do in those games. Far Cry 6 is also on sale. And again, just like Heartless mentioned, we do get a little bit of a kickback if you choose to buy any of these games. So it does support the podcast. It does put the money so that we can make more content for you guys and just overall expand. Eventually, we could have guests on. It opens many doors for us if you guys
Next week is
choose
a
to
guest.
use any of these
Next week.
links. Yeah.
Oh yes, next week we got a guest. So
Oh, big
we'll
sale though.
more of them.
Ignorance is right. Ubisoft is 80% off on Steam right now. We
Oh.
forgot that. We missed that. That's big.
That's big.
And closing thing is Ed for Street Fighter 6 drops on the 27th. So I will see you guys on the streets.
Oh yeah, by the next podcast he'll be out already.
Yeah, he'll be out. Yeah, we'll see you on the
Mm,
streets. Let's go.
mm. All right.
Again, thank you, Heartless, for the great shout out for X Element. Yeah, we are here to, we got a lot of great things coming on this year. There's a link to the Discord in my bio and also on my Twitter. Check us out. We're looking to grow the community, so we would love to have you guys in there and just talk some games, talk some sports.
That's what's up. All right. With that said, guys, it's been fun. Tonight was
Raid out.
actually
That was great.
insane.
That
Yeah.
was
Who are
fun.
we gonna raid out to?
I'll go look right now.
Yeah,
You
go
can do your
look
outro.
or
I'll go look.
chat
Yeah.
if you
Or the
guys
hardest,
want.
get online, just read it
Nah, nah, nah.
yourself.
I'm gonna take an hour break. I'll be online in an hour, guys, for the
Yeah.
for
Okay.
stream tonight. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Um,
Ignorance is live.
What about youngster Joseph? Wait,
We can
yeah,
raid out
ignorance is
to
please.
the.
He's
live?
doing
Yes.
he's probably doing Capcom Cup reactions. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We
if you
could.
guys want to talk about
We could
Capcom
raid
Cup,
out.
he'll be
You're
on
not
there.
live, ignorance. Don't lie to us.
That's crazy. I knew he was lying, bro. I literally started searching for him.
Yeah, he's not live. I just looked.
Crazy.
And if you can't believe the social media person, like who can you believe these
Right.
days? Who
That's
can you believe?
crazy.
Seriously.
Crazy.
But anyways, guys, yo, thank you guys for being in for another episode. And we also had our first call in today, which was actually very
That was
successful
lit.
and it was very
Yep.
smooth. And yo, so
Shout out to Nightmare James. That was a
yeah,
great question. Let's
yeah.
keep them
So
coming.
if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you join the Discord and hop into the waiting room whenever we
Question of
have
the
a
week
question
before
of
we
the.
go. Question of the week. Next week.
Yeah.
What's question of the
Oh,
Oh,
question of the
I
week
didn't.
next week. We
Yeah.
have we're going to be posting it on the Twitter. What are your game of the year predictions for 2024?
Thank you. I
So,
forgot it,
Oh,
but
okay.
thank you.
Okay.
drop if you want to drop a trailer. If there's a trailer that exists for the game you're expecting, drop a trailer. Drop the game you're looking at. We will look at it and we'll call you out if you're wrong.
Power.
So you know. um, yeah, well, we are looking for you guys to put games on our radar to talk about.
All
Pretty
right,
much.
we're gonna raid out to youngster Joseph chat. Please don't
Let's
go
get it.
nowhere. Let's send the homie some love. Make sure
Yeah,
y'all
be
let
Please,
him
if
sure.
you
know.
guys got that energy, you just hop in there, say hi, what's up. If you're not following, throw them a follow. It doesn't hurt anybody, and it lets them know that our community supports.
Yeah, and let him know that this is a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put there's I shouted it out on his Discord earlier, so hopefully some of his audience will keep
Oh,
joining
okay.
us. So,
I can't find him. Where's
yeah,
Joseph? Raid.
just poor youngster Joseph. He's doing great things in the in the fighting game world to make
Yes, sir.
fighting games as accessible for all skill levels. So it doesn't matter if you're still an iron. We want he'll give you he'll show you the love. So
What's up?
um, even if you're a modern player.
Yeah.
No shout out,
Yeah.
no shade to any modern players out there.
Yeah. With that said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys
All
Peace
right,
later.
out, everybody.
we'll see you
All
next
the
week.
all the notes and everything we mentioned will be in the podcast notes and also the YouTube channel description. So with all that,
Mhm.
have a good night. Much love. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Cash out.
Cash out. I like that.
I like that. Cash out.
Guys,
Cash.
the podcast had 17 people. That shit was lit.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
That was
Seriously.
lit.
And
Wait, are
people
we
were
still live?
active.
If you guys in
We
the
are
chat,
still
if you guys
live,
just
but
go there, pop off a little bit. Let's see some of those emojis. Let's go. Let's pop off.
Yo, Jeremy, you got a little
Before we
gray in
switch
your
up.
beard right there. That's a little gray right
Oh
there.
yeah, I have a